clobberin' time! It's clobberin'.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
It's clobberin' time! Clobberonimo!
Greetings. Greetings, clobberers. Clobberonimos, clobberooskies, clobberoids, clobberettes, clobberians, clobberologists, and every other kind of clobber. And for those who do not yet clobber, the secret is to bang the rocks together, guys. That's right. Or, to illustrate a point, shout out Guagnar. Well done. Good to see you, my dear friends. Welcome to Clobberin' Times, issue number 660 on YouTube. 1,360 overall, the past 14 and over half years. And then it's Clobby's Clubhouse number 102 with, of course, the great chief engineer himself, Mark D with a C, joining me. Our wonderful first officer, the amazing, the wonderful Commander R.M. Briggs will be back next Thursday night. Cannot wait. We love her, miss her. She'll be back.
You just have to suffer with us for tonight. Yep. Sorry.
Well, you may not have to just suffer with us. We may have a guest pop in with us a little bit, which we'll see. Might have a treat for you like we did last week. We hope, but we'll see. So there won't be that much suffering. It won't be suffering. You know, we miss her, of course. We miss her, but it'll be a delight to have that guest if the guest shows up with us.
Yeah.
Who was here with us last week. So hello, my dear friends. Good to see you all. Thank you all for being here with us. And thank you, Mark D, the chief engineer, for being here. What's up, dude?
Oh, usual. Glad to be here on a Thursday night. I'm just putting the final touches on the Ahsoka slideshow for tonight. So we're waiting for our guest. Hopefully they'll be here. So then we'll hold off talking about that. But
we'll hold off.
I'm not in the chat. If I'm not in the chat, that's why, because I'm doing some editing
right now. No problem. I'll
Yeah.
handle it with all the. I'll do the shout out to the and the. I'll do the shout outs and the show notes shout outs now. How about that?
Sounds good.
So we'll get on with with that. We'll hopefully our guest will be here with us soon. I hope, but we'll see here. First of all, let's see. Big shout out, show notes, of course, everyone. Tomorrow night, I will be with, as always, on Friday nights with my great buddy, the J-Man, and Sean and J-Man, with our Fourth World reviews, all of Jack Kirby's Fourth World. We're reviewing it all in order, and it's been great fun doing that. That is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on their channel. I say their net because they live in that time zone. It's 6 p.m. Central for mine, but 7 Eastern for them. And the rest, you just got to figure it all out. And then 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The great 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser's channel. He has Friday Night Comic Shop Talk. We talk about comics and like we're in a comic shop and with a great gang there. I'm not sure if there are any topics specific or we're just hanging, but whichever it is, we will have a blast. And then Saturday Night Star Trek. Once again, our wonderful first officer will not be there, so we have a few different things, a few blinks planned to talk about some topics, and then it's all kind of just random Star Trek stuff because it's always Saturday Night Star Trek on Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, same Trek time, same Clobby channel. And then there's Sunday night at the great Mark D with a C's channel, and he is back up and running. He was great either way, but now he's monetized again. Please join over there. Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern for the Sunday night geekery. Get hungry, we'll be a little eatery, but for the most part,
yeah,
it's the geekery. And then Monday night, of course, it's the second Monday of the month. It's the B Monday. So the great J-Man and myself will be taking another trip to Earth B for a Wacky World of Bob Haney presentation with a new review of and it's yet to be determined, Earth B Classic. And that's 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So looking forward to that on Monday night, on our special 2 for night, special double feature night of Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk. And of course, later at the regular slot on some more Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, probably review a comic there also, and then just have a lot of basic open comics talk. Now let's shout out our dear friends who are with us tonight, starting with our great wrenches, whether they're here or not, to get the shout out. Of course, the great Eric K. LeBron's Wrencher. Yo, shout out to you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrencher, the Great White North. Brother, thanks so much for all you do. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Great show promos, yep.
Great, and that great promo as always. Thank you, my friend. D-Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iran. Good to see you there. But if you're here, I can't tell who's here yet, but whether he's here or not, D-Bud is a great wrench of the show, great friend. So good to see you there, buddy. Lord Thoth. And, of course, Lady Thoth. Avon lives and long live the Legion. The aforementioned great J-Man, my partner in crime on Earth B. And, of course, fellow Fourth World and Legionnaire reviewer extraordinaire, master of the Claboni, Hungry Boy, and artist of the cover of Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs, Stephen M. Kal-El, Maddie's Daddy, Thorn Vegas, Wheeler Wrench Mjolnir, that rascally wrench himself, Fanty Outsidery, and, of course, Clobbering Time's own music Meister, Maximum Redstone. Now, let's see who's in the chat. Let's say hello to our good friends who are here with us tonight in the chat. Looks like we got a bunch of pals all there already in there. Gwagnar! Good to see you, Gwag. Thanks for being here, buddy. Walkie Man. Hello. Good to see you again. I'm glad to have you here. All right. By the way, I want to thank anyone who is lurking out there. Who, we got a lot of lurkers here and there, and I really appreciate the lurkers and appreciate those listening on downloads or reruns. We really do. Thank you so much for that. It means more to me than I can say. And please, everyone out there, please subscribe if you will, and like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I know I'm never very good at saying those things, but they need to be said. So thank you. They say they need to be said. I hear everyone else says them, so I try to get on with the crowd. Brogu, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Keely Gel, Roll Tide. Let's see. Let's see. Larry. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Mr. Angel. What's up, Chef? Always great to have you pop in, sir. All right. Let's see. Hang on, everybody. David Glenn. Hello there, David Glenn. Let's see. Dadman Walking. What's up, buddy? Good to see him. Dadman and the Dadman clan.
Dadman.
Yeah, buddy. Picasso. Good to see you, Picasso. Thanks for being here. Claude Salling. Hello, Claude. Great to see you, my friend. Let's see. Could not be reached for further comment. What is up, my friend? Good to see you. Let's see. Hang on, folks. Oh, Lisa. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you, my dear.
Hey, Lisa.
All right. Always great to have the lovely Lisa here to join us. All right. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Brian Hepburn. Did I see Brian Hepburn? Sing went fast, way too fast. I could have swore I saw it.
I'm sure Brian's here. I'm not in the chat, but I'm assuming he's here. So, hail, Brian. Yep.
Well, I have a mouse to tell you about. Yeah, there he is. My mouse is wonky. He's bouncing stuff. So sorry, Brian. Good to see you, buddy. And there we go. I think I got everybody. This mouse is pissing me off.
Time for a new mouse.
I guess it is new, but it's old.
New mouse.
Since January, yeah.
The one that came with the PC.
My good buddy Fairfax, North Fairfax. Good to see you there. He just let me know he's watching out there. Thank you, bro. Good to see you, my friend. Say again.
That was the one that came with the PC. Usually those are not the best mices.
Gonna have to get me a new one. Yeah. Anyway, we're here though. So if it goes wonky, I'll let you know, and I have to go try to get one from the other room. So. All right. Well, everyone, and we were gonna wait. We were gonna talk about Ahsoka because it's now ended. We're gonna do that in a few minutes. We're gonna wait till our dear friend and guest gets here with us because I know she's gonna have some things to say about it. In the meantime, we'll just hang out with you all. What's going on? How you all doing with your bad selves this week? And everybody ready for the weekend? I'm sure.
Hopefully, right? Yeah.
Anybody? Nothing else? There's nothing else out there now.
Well, we should mention Dick Butkus passing. Although this is not a
sports
show.
Thanks. I almost forgot. Ezra Goldstein, by the way. Shalom, my friend. Good to see you.
Hey, Ezra.
You're right. Thanks for reminding me, man. Yo, look, you're all not. I know you're all not. Not all of you are sports ball fans. I understand that. So this is not going to be a talk about sports. But a true legend was announced today. The age of 80, the great monster of the Midway himself, the great Dick Butkus, passed away. And the college football linebacker awards were named after him. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The Butkus Award. He was and he did some movies and stuff also, but he was a phenomenon. Let me tell you something. Why Dick Butkus is the greatest middle linebacker of all time. There are a lot of reasons. There are other people people would like to bring that played a little bit longer. Dick Butkus only played 9 seasons. His knees got torn up, and he only played on 7 of those seasons. It was on a losing team. The Bears were terrible at that point. They only had 2 non-losing seasons when he was there. I don't think they got into the playoffs once when he was there, if I'm not mistaken. On that team, there were I can only think of 2 other Hall of Famers on that team at the time. It was Gale Sayers and maybe I think Doug Atkins. So the team was just had nothing going on in the 60s and then into the 70s, but he still played like a monster of the Midway.
Even on bad teams, yeah.
Bad teams. Look, a lot of these other great players played with a bunch of, he did have Doug Atkins on was a Hall of Famer on the defensive line, but other than that, and actually he didn't play long with Atkins because Atkins, according to the end of his career, Atkins had left. So he was without that even. Atkins left around 66 or something, 67. So he played most of his career with nobody really helping him that much at that position.
Here's a quote from Deacon Jones, is one of the
Oh, there you go. I love this quote. I was going to bring it up.
Quote, yeah. Butkus was a well-conditioned animal, and every time he hit you, he tried to put in the cemetery, not the hospital.
He said, yes.
In 2009, the NFL Network named Butkus the most feared tackler of all time.
Yep.
So think of that. He intercepted 22 passes and recovered 22 fumbles, a career record when he retired.
There's so many different film on him, even back then. Of course, he was in the Hall of Fame immediately, first balloter. And I saw one of his contemporaries talking about him. He says, for Dick to run the 100, it would take him 3 days. But there was nobody faster between the 20s. At that middle linebacker spot, moving around between back there than him. And They say he used to do like really nasty crap on the line of scrimmage. He would come in, he would spit all over the football. He would slobber, he would yell, making all these noises. They'd look up and go, it was Butkus making monster noises.
Yeah.
He was a freaking animal and a beast. And the guy just, I mean, he was coming after you every play, like Deacon Jones said. Deacon Jones invented the sack. The sack was invented because of him, and he's the one that ended up calling it that. So years before Deacon did that, you know, middle linebackers didn't generally get a lot of sacks, but they did sometimes. So he got, who knows how many sacks Butkus had that weren't really recorded. So
Yeah.
And again, he wasn't an edge rusher. He was coming in the end. He was coming up the middle.
In the middle, right? Yeah, he's not an LT type player. Yep,
right.
Yep.
People say, what about Ray? Ray Lewis played with a bunch of other great football players. It was good. It was really good. Sam Mills was one of the greats, and no one ever talks about him. He just made the Hall of Fame. Former, rest his soul, former New Orleans Saint. But Ray Lewis played with 3 or 4 other Hall of Famers, 2 or 3 at least. I mean, on good teams. Ravenscroft, they there. So Butkus, boy, tore his knees up, but he made it to 80.
Yeah, because they're saying in high school he tore his ligaments, but he kept playing, and it wasn't until 1971 that they finally had surgery. Of course, the tech back then too was so primitive too on you know. On your with the doctors for your knees and everything, yeah.
Oh yeah. So he never, and this is an amazing thing, dude. 9 years, he could have. I mean, there wasn't really a lot of free agency back then, but there was trades happening.
Yeah.
But he was a Papa House, and this is a guy that wanted to win there. He wanted to win at home, and he didn't just jump ship because he went like a crybaby because the team wasn't very good. Years before that, the Bears were one of the, they were the first team, and they were one of the biggest, they were big, had a lot of great years, but just like anybody else generationally, they were in a bad generational slump. Remember, the Bears weren't even good until the mid-'80s.
That's true. Yeah, people forget that. Yeah. Here's another great quote. Hall of Famer Bill George, when Butkus succeeded as the Bears middle linebacker, said, "The first time I saw Butkus, I started packing my gear. I knew my Bear days were numbered. There was no way that guy wasn't going to be great." So, wow. I mean, but he had such a nice personality though off the field too, which is because he was in The Longest Yard. I'm looking at some of his movies. Let's see, Gremlins 2, but Brian's Song, of course, a great movie.
Raven,
but
no good.
I was just gonna say, but he had a night. He wasn't a scary, like he was a scary, you don't want to mess with kind of guy, but he wasn't an angry or mean guy. You saw him in all the the Bud. Was it Miller on the Miller Lite ads?
Just
and then,
on the field, yeah.
Just on the field. But he had it was a guy that you'd want to hang out with, but just don't cross him. Maybe I guess that's the way to think of it.
Yeah. Like Mean Joe Green, sort of. Ravenscroft, yes. Yeah. Bobby Douglas, again, that's just another one of those bad quarterbacks of this. And by the way, he played for the Bears and the Saints. Bobby Douglas was a big left-handed quarterback, big tall dude. He was like a monster-sized quarterback. Who until Mike, he was the only quarterback to run for over 1,000 yards on the ground until, and he had a record that stood in the 70s until Michael Vick broke it many years later in the 2000s. But the thing that he used to say about Bobby Douglas, hey, Captain Infinity and beyond, Captain what was it? Yeah, that's true. Rocky named his dog Butkus. Was it Bobby Douglas? He used to say, he had a really strong arm, but he was left-handed. Steve Sabol said they said he could knock over the broadside of a barn if he could hit the broadside of a barn. He was very inaccurate. JT Kirk, what's up, bro?
Hey, JT Kirk, yep.
So yeah, definitely rest in peace. Great Dick Butkus, one of the true NFL, not just easily the greatest middle linebacker of all time. And you name the little linebacker, you can't find one better, in my opinion. But also one of the greatest football players, just regardless of position, one of the greatest NFL players of all time.
Yeah.
I worked on the computers at Mean Joe Green's restaurant, says Larry. Wow.
Nice. And Larry, 6 degrees of separation from Mean Joe Green, but one of my buddies in college, Tom Ocon, of course, is the kid from the commercial, so
Oh, yeah, you
knew him
told me
pretty
about
well
that.
in college, yeah, and he had the ball that was all signed by the Steelers and the jersey. Well, one of his jerseys had gotten stolen, not at college, but
Right.
the replacement jersey. But God, he was a fun guy, Tom Ocon. Yeah, great guy to hang out with,
Cool.
and yeah, so
You know
yeah,
that
it was
they
great
say that
commercial.
Butkus and Mean Joe Green tangled a couple of times, and no one wants
Oh
to
yeah,
admit who they didn't fight. But apparently, there were people who said, "Oh yeah, Butkus was afraid of Mean Joe Green." No, he wasn't.
no, he's not afraid. That guy's not afraid of anyone. If you watch any of his game film or seeing him,
No,
The
but
problem
Mean
is
Joe Green
you
wasn't
don't.
afraid of him either. I mean, they were
No,
monsters.
no, he wouldn't be either. But the problem is, well, I mean, the highlights are great if you go watch on YouTube or things like that. But what's great is to go back NFL films and watch a whole game, and then you really get a flavor of how great a player was. Like if you being a Giants fan, if you go back and watch that Monday Night Football game where
Lawrence Taylor.
LT gets that intercepts,
Yeah.
but the whole game he's a monster. The whole game. It's not just the highlights. So Butkus, amazingly, was named defensive. What in college he was named one of the top top players. And what was the award he won? Or let's see.
What?
I'm trying to look up. I was skimming an article on him, but
On who?
he made a huge for a defensive player to make that much of impact, is usually not not that common, So it's he was the most Big Ten's most valuable player, yeah.
Who?
And Butkus, yeah, in college.
Oh yeah, yeah. They
obviously.
named
yeah.
they named they named the linebacker award after him.
After him,
But
yeah.
and Ravenscroft, Otis Sistruck was a bad mother now, but I don't know. Was he worse? Was he as bad as Mamma Jamma as Mean Joe Green? Though? I don't know. He was pretty bad. So was oh god. So were a lot of Raiders. He was a Raider. So anyway. All right. So yeah, it's a shame about poor old. Well, he was 80. And I don't even know the circumstances of what the reason or why he passed.
He died in his sleep, but
no. Jack Lambert, yeah, he was right up there with Jack Lambert was right up there with Butkus as a badass, and again was a great linebacker. The problem was, he was Jack Ham was a middle linebacker with that situation, but Jack, he was an outside linebacker. Lambert. Thing is, again, Lambert. I mean, still look, he was right in the Hall of Fame, so he gets no stigma. But he did play with like 4 other Hall of Famers on that defense.
Yeah,
I mean, and that whole offense had like something like 10 Hall of Famers. So it was crazy. They won 4 championships, man. I mean, on defense, they had Mean Joe Green, L.C. Greenwood, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Mel Blount, Andy Russell. They were loaded. So, yeah, my favorite footballer is the quarterback for the New York Jets, Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets. Although, there's fun, not to deviate too much before we're waiting. Flash Gordon had a lot of different sports occupations. That was just, of course, Flash, the New York Jets. That was just for the movie, right?
Yeah, I think, wasn't it just the movie? Yep.
Right.
Well, the Jets can use all the help they can get, guys. So
comment. Let's see. He played for the Jets in the Sam J. Jones movie, Ravenscroft. Now, in the very first Alex Raymond comics strip, Flash Gordon was a polo player.
Water polo or polo?
Horsies.
Yeah, horsies.
And an athlete. And then in the Buster Crabbe serials, he was an Olympic swimmer and stuff. An Olympian, gold medal winner or whatever. And then so in the no, he was an Olympic swimmer, I think. Yeah. And then in the Flash Gordon, the Greatest Adventure of All, the animated movie, he was an Olympian. It was winner of the Olympics or whatever. And then in the stupid DC comic in the 80s, he was a basketball player with the Celtics. I personally, of all those, I like the. It's kind of cool that he was the quarterback for the Jets.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah.
Fair. What about Jack Blunt? Youngblood was my buddy Fairfax is saying, Jack Blunt Youngblood was great. Now, of course, he was a defensive lineman, but he did play with a broken leg in the playoffs. Oh, that was
with a broken leg?
Yes, sir. Jack Youngblood played with a broken leg in the NFC Championship game against the Bucks.
Oh.
He actually broke it the week before. And then he went out there and played with a broken leg. He was
That's insane.
He was a defensive end. Oh, Jack Youngblood was a bad mother too. Then a lot of those guys, they're all badasses back then. Those defensive linemen.
I got a hangnail. I don't know if I can play next week, Coach.
Yeah, Ronnie Lott cut part of his finger off so he could play. What can I tell you?
Yeah, that was famous. Yes.
Yeah.
How fast can I be back? What if I cut my finger
off?
What
if I cut my finger off? Or tip of my finger?
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Those were the days, yeah.
Again, Butkus is the guy that did it on a lousy team for 9 years, only 7 of which they didn't have winning season. With no real support whatsoever, no offense either.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was a monstrosity. And but when he was drafted, they were coming off a couple of good years, but there were a lot of guys were leaving. So damn shame.
And he's got a great name for football too, right?
Oh yeah,
can't deny that either. Yep.
I'm not gonna say rest in peace because he's not peaceful. He wants to sack people. So rest in peace, but still do some sacking there and some tackling. Great Dick Butkus, the greatest middle linebacker of all time, one of the greatest football players of all time, obviously one of the true monsters of the Midway, as they call them in Chicago. And obviously, even though I'm not a Bears fan per se, I have a lot of respect for all especially the classic teams because I love NFL history so much. And you can't, whether you like the team or not, I just respect the hell out of the Bears. Papa Hallis, and they're one of the first team really, and
yeah,
even when they were the Chicago Staleys. So love them. Anyway,
sorry about the sports ball, everyone, but
yeah. But no, you're right. I could not mention it. So again, no more sports ball. I promise everybody. Except we're talking about Flash Gordon, of course. That's different. That was like that fit into geek stuff,
Yeah, that's geek stuff. Yep. Well, we can talk about water polo on Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, Bears were founding member. Yeah. Again, we are going to get to Ashoka in a minute. We're waiting for our guest. Unless you just want to go ahead and start talking, she can just join us. I mean, what do you think? Yes, Ravenscloth. I do believe, and are we on for Blake 7 next week? Are we?
I think so, right? We got to check.
I am, but I got to share with you. We're going to clear that up with Raquel to be sure, but I think so. If you're unless you don't want to, we could do something different.
No, I definitely want to. Yeah, no.
If you want to do Saved by the Bell
or Stargirl, you got to watch Stargirl someday. You made me watch Blackadder.
I never made you watch anything. Listen, everybody. He's saying I made him watch stuff.
You didn't make me watch anything, but it's all in good fun. Yep.
I'm just kidding.
Good stuff. Yep.
We're gonna do one episode a week, right?
Yeah. One episode.
We're just gonna do one a week. Take our time. That's a year's worth right there. 52 weeks. So assuming Raquel is okay with starting that next week, we're not sure yet. We may have to start the following
99.9% sure, but
she'll be here next. She'll be here next week. We just want to make sure. But yes, which would mean, ladies and germs, if you want to follow on in your hymnals, the first episode is The Way Back. There's Wonky Man quoting some Blackadder 2 right there. How much for a good hard shag? That's true. Butkus was on that he was on that Blue Thunder TV show.
With Roy Schneider? The Roy Schneider movie, though.
No, that's the movie. Wasn't he on the TV show with James Ferrantino and Bubba Smith?
I'll check in a second. But Yeah, he did. I mean, he had some
I hear
acting
you,
gigs. So
I hear you, Fanty. What other movie? He was in some movies, but he was on a Rockford Files episode as himself. Did you know that?
it said
Webster.
in a Wikipedia article. Yeah. Let's see what else was
Webster.
he.
I thought that was Alex Karras.
No, that's Alex Karras. Yep, yep.
Jan Michael
That's it.
Vincent. What about Jan Michael Vincent? Airwolf.
Airwolf. Yep.
Yeah. No, I could have sworn. I think Butkus was on Blue Thunder TV series.
Let's see. He was in. This is just Wikipedia, but he was in Longest Yards, Cry Youngin, Mother Jugs and Speed, Gus, Superdome, Cracking Up, Johnny Dangerously. Oh, this is a crazy movie.
He was in Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe had a bit part in there. Hamburger, the motion picture, Stepford Children, Spontaneous Combustion, Gremlins 2, the new batch, Necessary Roughness, Any Given Sunday, 1999. He was a regular character on TV shows such as Blue Thunder, My Two Dads, Vegas, MacGyver, the original, of course, and Hang Time. Maybe that was like a sitcom. They said, yeah.
Wait a minute.
And on Murder She Wrote. And an appearance on Murder She Wrote.
They don't mention Rockford. He was on Rockford on the $6 Million Man episode.
Let's see. They don't mention it there, but I'm sure he will. Let me go to his IMDb. That's probably the.
He played himself on a Rockford episode.
Yeah, I'm sure if I go to IMDb, they'll have all his roles. Yep.
But I can't remember if that was him. I know Larry Zonka was on the $6 Million Man episode.
Let's see here.
Mother Jugs and Speed was a good movie there, JT.
Let's see. I was MacGyver 3 episodes. I was in Last Boy Scout. Must have been a small role. Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, he was just an announcer. He played himself on Last Boy Scout.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Gremlins? We're doing Gremlins.
I don't know.
I don't remember him from Gremlins. Must have been small.
Let's see all. Necessary Roughness, convict football player.
Yeah, remember that.
He was himself in Gremlins too, so it was a cameo. My Two Dads, 27 episodes, so he was on that a lot.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, My Two Dads. Yep.
Blue Thunder didn't last too long though.
Kate and Alley, Crash Course, Growing Pains, 1 episode. Matlock, 1 episode. Set for Children, Night Court, 2 episodes. Black's Magic, 1 episode. Let's see, Half Nelson. 7 episodes. Murder She Wrote.
Go ahead.
Love Boat, Blue Thunder, Cracking Up, Miller Lite, Tastes Great, Less Filling. Simon and Simon. Oh, Greatest American Hero. Matt Houston.
Wow.
Cass Malloy, Deadly Games, Magnum PI, Vegas. That was a good series too. Vegas, Robert York. Legend of Sleeping Hollow, Fantasy Island, 2 episodes. I think I remember Taxi, 1 episode. Wonder Woman, 1 episode.
Wow.
So he was everywhere in the set. He was everywhere in the 70s.
They're not mentioning the Rockford?
Rich Man, Poor Man, Rockford Files, 1976. He played himself. There you go. Cool. 1976. Petrocelli, Joe Forster, $6 Million Man as Bobby Laporte, 1975.
Cool.
Bronx, Police Story, 2 episodes. Oh, it was an episode of Emergency, Dave the Animal, 1974. And Brian's Song was his first movie. That was the first TV show that made me cry.
That was a great movie.
Down watching that as a kid, yeah.
Thank you for the sorry, I want to get the super chat real quick. So
yeah.
Hey, Don Ranger Power. I'll let you continue out there.
Yeah.
RR TNG, thank you so much for the super chat. You are too kind, my friend. He says, Clobby, driving home from work. Don't hate me, but I love Man of Steel. I would never hate you. Although it's a deeply flawed film. It's more of a movie than a film, though. However, Reeve, as always, will be the greatest Superman, though, no question, up and away. I thank you for that. Look, let me tell you something, dude. I mean, I good-natured ribbing. I joke with my friends I have friends who like that movie. I hate it, but just because I hate it doesn't mean anyone else ever has to. So never feel like your opinions are taboo here or unwelcome here. They're always welcome. And if I disagree with them, I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that I do. But always take it with us coming from a place of smile and good-natured, just differences of opinion. And I mean, other than like joking around with each other, like if Mark liked it, then I'd have to be really mean to him.
That's different matter. Yeah,
right. But that's cool, and it's never a problem, my friend. All opinions are welcome, and like I said, no one has to agree with me. I don't agree with myself half the time, so don't worry about it.
Right?
Let's see. Don Power Rangers. Hello, Clobby Mark. Happy Global James Bond Day. Is it Global James Bond Day? No one ever tells me anything.
Yeah.
I love James Bond, so yes, I will have to watch a Bond movie when I get done.
You don't like James Blonde though, right?
I don't like James Blonde. So, sorry, but I'm going to cut you off there.
Oh no, yeah, because I'm not on. I got the other editing screen up, so I don't see the chat.
Oh,
but
proceed, sir.
oh, so good, yeah. Oh, so he was on Half Nelson for 7 episodes with Joe Pesci. It's like a cop movie. Dick Butkus, Bubba Smith, Fred Williamson, Victoria Jackson from Saturday Night Live,
TV series.
Dean Martin, yeah, TV series, yeah.
That didn't last.
Cesar Romero was on one episode. No, that didn't last, but it was 7 or 8 episodes. I'm trying to see what lasted more, but the thing he was on the most was My Two Dads with the jerk from Aliens, and is that Greg Evigan? It looks like to me.
Greg Evigan
Paul
and
Reiser, Greg
Paul
Evigan,
Reiser,
Stacey Keenan. Yep, was the young girl. Yep.
Somebody said hello to Joan Hex and Empress NM. I haven't. Wagner said that, so hello to Joan Hex and Empress NM. If you guys are. Maybe they're lurking and don't want to be shouted out, so I'm sorry about that. But I saw somebody say hello to them, so. And I just make because I don't want to miss anybody. I want to make you think that I just didn't see him or something. Your Muslim uncle, what's up, buddy? Hail. So I'm sorry again. Proceed, sir.
Well, that was his longest running gig, I guess, on TV. So that looks like that was 60 episodes over 4 years. So he was not a main, semi-regular character. So he was on for 27 episodes. So. That was probably his longest running regular gig, but he was in everything. I mean, he was just around, commercials and TV and all those guest spots. So, 70s and 80s, you saw him all the time. And then of course he did. Then he was on the Calling Games too. So he was just in the Miller Lite commercials. Yeah. So
gotcha. Don says on this day in pop culture history in 1993, Jason David Frank, God rest his soul, debuted as Tommy Oliver in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oh, the memories. Well, that's a shout out for Don. I hear you, man. I know you're a big fan of those Power Rangers, and rest his soul indeed. We're taken way too young. So
that's for sure. Yeah.
Again, and I'm just really still bummed about old Dick Butkus. I'm sure he had people always say, well, they had a lifelong life. Hey, maybe, but. Still glad, not glad when they're gone. I'm still sad when they're gone. Yeah. No one wants. I mean, he could have gone longer. But hey, he was a great football player. Man, look at all that TV work he did and movie work. Wow. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine, by the way, who loved that Blue Thunder TV show. I like the movie. I never really watched much of the TV show personally. I don't know about you.
I watched it back then because
didn't last long.
That was the era of Airwolf and
it was before that.
It was before Airwolf and but just the Kit, Knight Rider, the gadgets and
the gadget show.
Gadget show, yeah.
The vehicle show, I guess.
Yeah.
What genre do you call it? The vehicle genre?
Who was the guy with the cycle? Rex Reed. Who was the what was that one called with the motorcycle?
Oh, that was Rex Smith. That was
Rex Smith, thank you.
Street Hawk.
Street Hawk, yeah.
My friend liked that one too. I never see you're gonna hate me. You want to hate me, you guys. I'm at that age where I watched Knight Rider when it first came on, like the pilot, and just never got into it. Simply Steve, what's up, buddy? Oh, yeah, Butkus was see, I forgot Butkus was in Johnny Dangerously, and I like that movie. It's been a while. RR says it's World Fight Club Day, but no, you do not talk about Fight Club.
You're in trouble now.
Yeah. So yeah, I never got into Knight Rider that much, or any of or even Airwolf. But I had a buddy of mine, he loved them. If it was
those.
He loved Street Hawk, Blue Thunder TV show. I like the Blue Thunder movie, by the way. That's pretty good. Airwolf and Street Hawk. He liked Knight Rider. They were all, but Knight Rider was pretty popular. So yeah.
Yeah, Knight Rider is the most popular, but
see,
Airwolf had pretty good. Airwolf had pretty good legs too, I think. Though
I just like Smokey and the Bandits Trans Am better than that one.
You think so? Yeah, well, it's different. It's a totally different animal
style.
too. You got a Kit the talking.
Oh yeah, it was cool. I'm just saying the design. I don't know. At the time, I remember being aggravated that GM was changing that style. Why would you change that style? The Camaro and the Firebird
Well,
and
it's just
the Trans Am. That was the
made
perfect
the next
style car, man.
generation. Yeah, but they can't stay the same forever. Designers got to get paid. So
Yeah,
I know, but you can't. I mean, it's
Oh
classic,
man,
but
hey, it made
when
the
that
price.
when,
It made demand go up for those older ones, though.
oh yeah, I mean, I was a kid too. I love that. That's so futuristic. It looked like the car that Buck Rogers would be driving, or a spaceship, or I mean, today it looks relatively tame, but that was a really modern design when that came out.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was.
yeah.
I mean,
I love
I
it.
know that a lot of people didn't like it, but
Yeah, I prefer Rockford's car or Smokey and the Bandit's car. Rockford was a Camaro or a Firebird. I always get the two. I think he had a
I
Camaro.
think he was a Firebird, wasn't he?
He
No,
was
no,
a
it was a
fi- I
Camaro.
mean,
It was a Camaro.
He was a Firebird, wasn't he?
Firebird.
Why do I always get him backwards? He's
Well, they're
one of those
basically
two.
it's basically the same
Well,
car.
it's
I
GM.
mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah. It's just,
yeah, it's
I think
just
it was
different.
a
Don't get mad
Firebird.
at me, Camaro Firebird people, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Hey, look, we owned this Firebird. We owned a car lot, and we sold tons of both of them, including man. And at that time, if you had a Smokey and the Bandit car, which we did, we sold a bunch. I mean, dude, in a couple of years,
above sticker, probably way above
those
sticker.
suckers.
Right?
Oh well, yeah, we were used car. If you got them used later, I'm talking about
Oh, years later. Okay, yeah.
used. I mean, they were just monstrosity. Smokey and the Bandit came out. The Star Wars came out, and next to Star Wars, it was the biggest movie out there.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
huge, as Nick Weiser would say. Yep.
huge, as Nick would like to say, but we don't say that around here.
Nope.
Well, I guess we could. I mean,
yeah, we'll get going, but
you want to get going in a minute? I mean, if you heard anything
just
back yet?
No, I haven't heard anything back. So unfortunately,
Said she did say she was going to be on
earlier. Yeah. So, but I probably should have sent I did send the link a few hours ago, but maybe I should have sent it earlier in the day. But you know how that stuff goes.
That's quiet. That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll start up in a minute, and we'll everyone. I'm sure you're just chomping at the bit to hear us go off again about because no one's talking about Ahsoka, right? We need one more.
No one is.
You need one more channel doing it. At least we don't advertise it. We just say, we just do it. Maybe we should have. Maybe we should put Ahsoka on our banner and get people to show up. It seems to be the thing.
Yeah, we should have done.
My style. People, I don't. Yeah, I'll talk about it, but a choker indeed, simply Steve. I mean, what more is there to say? That Ahsoka sucks, but
well, we're gonna analyze it. It made me want to throw stuff at the TV the other night. Fortunately, I didn't. But yeah, there's just some things that were just so mind-bogglingly bad. There's problems with the episode, the series. One level's the story, and then one level's just the bad fighting. And actually, if you watch the fighting at 1.5 speed, it actually looks better. But we'll get into it. I'm getting the slideshow set up.
Okay, oh no, okay, that's cool. Everyone, I saw a channel today. I won't go in. I'll say where it was or anything, but I did see a channel today that was talking about. That was showing. They compiled a bunch of these reaction videos to idiots watching Ahsoka and loving it and going nuts over it like it's the greatest thing they've ever seen. I mean, I caught a live stream that was showing this thing earlier, and they were. I mean, it was a real long, bunch of cuts of different channels. I don't talk bad about other channels around here, so that's why I don't mention it one way or the other who I'm getting this from. But I'm just saying. And these people are entitled to their opinion and to like whatever they want to like, and that's all fun and all fine. If you loved Ahsoka, more power to you. If you got something out of it, hey, great. Just telling you, I didn't like it, and in fact, I thought it was terrible. But these reactions, I mean, it'd be one thing if you're defending it. Yeah, I really liked it. You gave rational reasons, and when you're watching it, maybe you went, "Oh, that's cool." All that's fantastic. Good night, Ravenscroft. Thank you for being here.
All right.
But these people, they were. I'm trying to be nice. I don't know why they're not very nice, because I'll tell you why in a minute. But they, a lot of these people were they were filming their. I don't know. I don't get the whole film reaction thing. By the way, you're reacting to a new show or a movie. I don't. That's something I I guess I'm
Yeah,
just
it's
too
it's a thing though. It's a
old.
thing.
I know it's a thing. I just don't really see the big deal about it. I think it's kind
Like
of
people watch a music
I
video and then
just
they react
I
to it. Yeah.
understand. Oh no, I don't. I understand it happens.
Yeah,
I understand
yeah,
the
yeah.
theory. I just don't. I just don't understand why you want to
not
do
you.
such a thing. Not me. But we live in that weird narcissistic society now where people have to show themselves doing everything in their lives. It's just where we are right now. So these people who are they're what I call Star Wars. They're Disney zealots. They're Star Wars sycophants. And by the way, the reason why I don't want to be too nice to them is because I've seen how they act towards those who don't suck on the Disney teat, who don't worship at the corporate altar of Disney. It's not like they're not even being close to as magnanimous as I am and saying, "Hey, it's fine if you guys don't like it. We do, and we can live." Well, they are absolutely. Most of them are abominable attackers and assailants to anyone who doesn't support this drivel that Disney's been spewing out. Okay, so while it shouldn't even bother to be nice to them. I'm simply saying I'm trying to just be as fair as I can, just to say this. These reactions, again, it's not like they're going, "No, that was really cool." They're going ape shit. And then they're having reactions. Oh, we got it. There she is. Retro Nerd Girl. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good to see you, my dear.
Good
Glad
to
you're
see
here.
you guys too. Yeah, I just got home from work.
That's cool.
Oh, that's okay.
Thank you
God.
for being. No, I know it's
Thank you. Yeah,
again.
if you
We
need a
just
break
can't
or
thank you
something.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you needed to do some stuff before you started, it's not a problem.
Oh, no, I'm good actually. Yeah. Yeah, what are you guys doing? I'm actually
We were just
we were
starting to
gonna
talk about Ahsoka
Oh
right now.
boy.
Oh boy.
What I was setting everyone up for something before when Mark was getting things ready, and I'm glad you're here because I'll backtrack enough to bounce this off of you. I ran across a live stream today. I'm not gonna say any names of who, whatever, but they were showing this was happened to be a live stream channel that doesn't like Ahsoka, right? There was a couple of them, and they compiled one of them. They compiled a ton of videos from channels that really are all nuts for it. They love it. They're bouncing off the walls how much they love it. Reactions of themselves watching the episode, right?
Oh,
I don't know if you're familiar with that, but
yeah,
people do that. Well, in these reactions, and like I just set up, I was just telling everybody, look, like what you want to like. I mean, we might joke about it, but you can, do whatever you want to do, like whatever you want to like. Although some of these same people that we're talking about, which I'll explain later, are people who aren't the same way. In other words, if you don't like it, they want you canceled. They want you to shut up. They don't want you to have any opinion. But these people are not fair-minded, where people might say, look, if you like it, it's fine. These are some belligerent people, and these reactions that they. I'm just give you a couple of examples. Some of them were reacting to like every single scene, like, oh my God, he's building a lightsaber. Wow, really? Another one was going, oh my God, it's blue, being the lightsaber. Wow, you're excited about that? And I'm not exaggerating. It got worse, and they were all going, what? I was like, oh, it's so cool. You've probably seen these videos before, right?
Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Well, I got to admit I'm old, because like they make me cringe my ass off. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, wow. But maybe to be fair, it's probably because I think the show sucks. If I liked the show, I would probably just going, well, it's a little out there, but sure. If I agreed with them that it was good, but think they were maybe a little excited. So to be fair, it is compounded by the fact that I think the show sucks. It makes me go, wow, but let's face it, you are excited about him building a lightsaber. Woo. You're excited about him, the color of the lightsaber. Woo. You're excited about every little thing that they do, but none of it really had anything to do with the story. But these people who compiled this and were showing it, they happen to be a channel that doesn't like it, the show, right? And they showed a list after that of almost a whole bunch of these people that they clipped with their reaction views of some of the horrible things that they've been attacking them on Twitter, basically wishing death on the people who don't like it, who don't support Disney, a bunch of just rotten people. So why should I be nice to them? But I'm going to be anyway, and just not say any names.
Because you're a nice guy. Yeah.
Don't insult me in front of everybody, please. Actually, do insult
about
me.
that.
Sorry.
I'll forgive you.
I'll forgive you. So anyway, basically, I know you've probably talked. I don't know if you're even in the mood to talk about the thing that much, but
Sure.
thought we cover a little bit. While Mark's
Here, I'll
getting
get the
that ready,
slideshow. Yeah, I'll make do the slideshow here.
Oh,
what are your
sure.
what are your basic thoughts on now that the show has ended?
Well, I would say about the show, I liked it more than I didn't like it, or I enjoyed it more than I didn't enjoy
Hmm.
it. But there's a lot of problems with this, and it really stems from the writing and story. But otherwise,
Yeah.
it's cool to have all those things, but and I don't, I remember a day we didn't have anything Star Wars for years, and so Star Wars fans are eating right now that are loving this kind of stuff. But I think for people who are sort of like, well, I remember when Star Wars had great stories, and so it it feels like a lot of toys, things that you need to go buy. I need to
Mm,
get the new figure of Enoch. I need to get the new, figure of Sabine and the lightsabers. But it doesn't really feel like we really got a story that completed at the end of Ahsoka. I have a list of about 20 questions that haven't been answered yet.
Wow, that's the biggest thing there too. Because when you have that many questions, something's wrong. I mean, look, you can leave some
Yeah,
things out there,
yeah.
but in fact, I don't know about you, but I can't think of one question that has been answered other than
There
see
w
there
there
you have
were a
none.
few there were a few that they shoved in at the last episode, and that's
Right.
part of the reason why I even liked the last episode. I was like, "Oh, finally, they give us some answers to some of the questions," and a lot of it is left to your imagination. And, as Star Wars fans, we can imagine a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it kind of it was like, and I described it before, like eating. You order a burger from a fast food joint and you get like a veggie burger, and
Hmm.
not even the veggie burger that has the same, a similar texture, but the ones that have like broccoli and potato in it
Oh
and
God.
beans,
Oh no.
the ones that you're like, what is this is a burger?
I hear you. I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
But before
Um,
we go any further, I want to say hi to everybody who said hi to me in the chat when I came in. Thank you guys for all the love and making me feel so welcome around here.
but we appreciate you being here,
Thank you for
Yes,
being here.
and
thank
Yeah,
and
we're
so
you.
so did they.
as we're saying, you guys were stuck with us until Retro gets here. So thank God
Yeah.
you're here. Yep.
You guys are so sweet. Oh my goodness.
We spent
Um,
most of the time before that saying goodbye to good old Dick Butkus passing away. So
Yeah, the great football
um
player. Yep. Yep.
um basically, just look at this title. The title rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning. I'm like, really?
The
yeah.
Lion, the
Where do we
Witch,
go?
and the
C.S.
Wardrobe.
Lewis now? The
Yeah.
Jedi, the witch, and the
hmm And
the warlord. Yeah.
And this is giving us a little bit more insight to what Filoni is really getting his inspiration for. He's bringing a lot of this fantasy element to Star Wars,
Hmm.
that is, prevalent in the Lord of the Rings. And I mean, he's basically, I mean, he made Ahsoka the White to kind of mirror that
Yeah.
whole thing there.
Yep.
And I was like, why? What? Okay. You know, and I think it
I gotta
definitely,
ask a question. Sorry to interrupt, ask a question, but
Mhm.
I didn't understand that. Was that because she died, just like Gandalf? They were copying
But
that when
they
Gandalf the
don't know.
Great
But did
dies,
she?
and then she comes back, and the color of her, not the hair, but what do you call her appendages on her off her head? That changed too, right? Like
uh,
I
I,
think, didn't it? But I mean,
well,
they were they changed her just to be like that was just such a blatant ripoff of Gandalf. Like they never
they,
explained it, like
yeah.
why she came back uh like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was supposed to be a spiritual death,
Mm.
because in many ways she was supposed to die there, and because of what she had that conversation with Anakin, and he told her that she should live, and she at the end she goes, "Oh, I want to live," and then she comes back.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm just trying to interpret what I'm seeing there. And like I said before, it'd be really great if they had actually explained that and said exactly what that was. So there's a lot of questions about, okay, was that really in her mind, or was that really in the world between worlds, or was that Anakin's Force ghost, or was it not? And I'm leaning towards maybe it was his Force ghost, like talking to her in her dreams, or invading
Yeah.
her dreams and trying to teach her a lesson. And yeah, that's a stretch. I gotta do a lot of imagining to fill in the gaps.
But you shouldn't
Yeah.
have to.
No, you shouldn't have to. I rewatched Loki season 1 last night
Oh my God.
for
Why'd you do that to
something.
yourself?
Oh,
Sorry,
you
go ahead.
didn't like it? You didn't like it?
I hated it, but I'm just teasing you.
But okay, so I did enjoy it, but one thing I noticed that was a stark difference from this show, and probably the reason why I liked it, was in each episode they set up a mystery, and then they answered it in the next episode. So they didn't leave you hanging for the whole season, and maybe even more. So that's kind of the problem here. We have all of these dumb mystery boxes with no answers
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
any of the things that that they set up here. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of world building. We're building the world. We're building the world. We're building the world, but we have no story. So
Exactly. Nothing is accomplished here. Nothing happens here, and they tell you nothing. I have nothing but questions that I don't even really care much about the answers for.
Well, you know
But
that no,
still,
but you
that
know
said, I
that
wouldn't mind having the answers so I can make a better judgment. But
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
going to get the answers,
yeah.
and we're not going to get the answers next year. By the way, just so you know, we're not going to get any answers if they make it. And by the way, right now, unless you've seen something different, either one of you, the last thing I've seen about it is their conversations about a season 2.
yeah, well,
Conversations.
probably won't happen.
Fiona,
Well,
what's up? Good to see you, Fiona.
hey, Fiona.
Welcome.
Well, you do know something at the end, though. You know that Thrawn's escaped with hundreds of black boxes in a Star Destroyer to another planet. You do know that. You just don't know what they should have told you what was in the boxes. And one of the
Yeah.
things that killed me about this finale, there were just so many logical errors that drove me beep, bat blank crazy. I'm yelling at the TV, and I'm normally a pretty mellow guy. Why did Thrawn just not leave? I mean, as we're going through the slideshow, why did this sphere, the transport that looks like massive, version of the Jedi hyperspace ring? Why
Mm.
didn't the Star Destroyer just leave and go into orbit, and then connect up in orbit? Once everything, in the beginning of the episode, they say they've finished loading the cargo, which you never know what the cargo is. So it's obviously got to be important. But why not just tell you the cargo is maybe zombie troopers or something, or maybe
Or
it's their
something.
Don't
they're
know.
clones of Snoke, or there's something there.
Maybe they don't even know.
They don't.
Well,
You
Thrawn
know,
has to know. Well, Thrawn's got to know, right?
retro. No. I think you mean that the writers don't know, right?
Oh, you don't think the writers know? Okay,
I
Maybe,
say
yeah.
don't.
I'm giving too much intelligence to the
Retro,
writers.
retro. I'm so with you. I don't think they know, and I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to give you much next if they get another season. It's just kick the can down to each episode, and the last one kick it to the next season.
Yeah.
They've done that with every other thing. That's what Filoni does. He does it. He did it on Clone Wars too,
Oh, great.
and Rebels. And I liked Rebels.
Yeah, and it was a different on a cartoon situation too, where I guess and you're getting a ton of episodes too. So if it's drawn out or takes longer in a cartoon, where you're going to have 60 episodes or however how many what they have 20 in a season. The first season's Rebels I think was maybe shorter. And the good thing about this show is it got me watching Rebels, which I'm enjoying a lot. But yeah, as you're seeing here, like they can't hit anything with the Star Destroyer. It's driving me nuts. I'm like yelling at it. They've got they could have locked the door or left there. and then then they're able to go through with just 2 of these wolf creatures, and not, the Star Destroyer can't hit them. You're telling me an advanced destroyer like that with high end, high tech targeting can't do
Yeah.
anything. Of course, then and then Ahsoka. That's the other problem I have with Sabine getting force powers. That's another
Oh
thing
man.
I can't
Yeah.
stand either, because I keep trying to move that coffee mug and it ain't happening closer to me. But I guess everyone can have the force now. I mean, she had no force abilities. That's the whole point of the the universe. If
Now
everyone could get
Right.
if
she's
everyone could get
super
force
powered
powers,
now.
You're right. Yes.
how many
Yes.
Jedi would be running in around the galaxy, or Sith, if everyone had? It's supposed to be a minuscule portion of the population that is force sensitive. So
Yeah.
that really got me angry too. And of course, then the fight scenes. Sorry, I'm ranting a little bit too much, but
Oh
the
no.
All right. Go for it.
the
Yeah.
fight scenes. I mean, I don't know how old Ms. Dawson is. Maybe she's in her 50s, but she doesn't move that well.
Mm-mm.
There's a reason why they got Ray Park to play, Darth Maul, because of his fantastic abilities as a martial artist. Okay, she's 44 years old. I just checked. And the older you get, you can't move as well. And these fights are slow motion, horrible.
Yeah.
And
Boring.
they're
I thought
boring.
they should have sped it up a little bit, because there's there's ways to speed it up just a little to make it give
Yeah.
it some more punch. And even if you did a slow motion moment where you can, there was one blow or one moment where she was doing something super epic,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. So this fight scene here, and I had to keep I had so many slides, I sped it up maybe a little bit too much, but
Now you're fine.
you're
We've
fine.
all
But you
seen
get
this. We've all sat
you've
through
all
this
seen
crap
it.
anyway.
But look, she's her back is what really gets me is when they put their back to people, and then they've got blasters.
Yeah.
So I actually, for clipping the slideshow, I watched it again tonight. And I speed it up, and I watched it 1.5 speed, and it actually looked better. But that's at 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
One scene where Sabine does a jump and roll is just so slow. I'm laughing at it. I mean, she's supposed to be this great Mandalorian fighter. It's just so darn slow. I mean, either they should have gotten better. I don't know if it was stunt people or was the actors doing it. But Ahsoka's, the fight choreography, and I guess you really shouldn't blame the actors for that. You got to blame whoever's running it. It's just
Yeah.
horrendous. I mean, there's a scene I'll show later. I just took some pictures of it where, I'll show separately, where Sabine has got her back to multiple stormtroopers or death troopers.
And
for
they're not
5
shooting at her.
seconds.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
not shooting at her. Yeah, I mean it's a very contrived. The action is very contrived, and
Yeah.
it doesn't really feel realistic at all. Yeah, I mean, there's some cool moments that you're like, oh, that's cool, but
Yeah, here come the zombies. Yeah, you think that was I mean, that well, I know some people don't like it. That really doesn't bother me as much, because you've got these witches that are,
I'm tired of
as you said.
zombies.
Yeah, I know you're tired of zombies, but
I don't know.
yeah, I'm not a
feed 'em
fan
some-
of zombies
feed them
either.
some clam pizza. But I mean, at least it's something a little different.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but here, like, why didn't Thrawn lock all the doors that these guys eventually end up locking? It's like, it doesn't make sense that they had to. All they needed was one line, like, we can't leave, the ship is powering up, or something. We've got to, recharge the warp engines, or the dilithium crystals, or give us something while you're sticking around here.
Lithium crystals.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some reason why you're staying here. There's no I mean, it's just bad
Yeah.
writing. I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm a teacher reviewing this, it's like it's like, you've got to have I mean, it's not like there's certain things, yeah, you nitpick too much, and you say, oh, you can over criticize, but when the whole plot point here is that they've got to prevent Thrawn, and there's no reason for Thrawn not to have already left. I mean, what is Uber hasn't shown up? I mean, what's going on? I don't get it. I mean,
Oh man. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
harder to forgive when you're bored, though, and they're boring me. So I can forget. Look, I've had many things I've watched over the course of my life that when I was really caught up in the story, even if it didn't make a lot of sense, but it was moving. I mean, it was interesting. The characters were fun, and they caught me up. And then later, maybe thought about some things that didn't work in the story, but I still had a good time. I can be very forgiving. However, while I'm watching it, you're not only doing outrageous, ridiculous things, and you're boring me to tears. Then there's nothing. There's no way I can give you any kind of a pass. This stuff is like watching molasses.
There were parts that I did like. I'm not saying this episode, but there were bits and pieces I did like. Chomper is awesome, but that's a given. But
They didn't do anything. Chomper didn't.
He didn't do it. Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
just
he didn't get to.
you get like it's like you get to see 3PO again. I mean, there's nothing nothing super super amazing about that. But I mean the opening, the intro. I was interested in the show. I was interested from the start. In the first few episodes, I know people thought it was slow or boring, but it got me interested, and I started watching Rebels, and I thought then it kind of hit a lull, and then the 4th and 5th episodes had some good parts, and seeing Anakin was interesting, but like you said, that was very, very confusing. Why that wasn't explained properly to the viewer, and then you don't have to J.J. Abrams this all the time. You can explain things to the viewers. But there were bits and pieces. Hera, I thought, was okay in parts. I guess I'm preferential towards green ladies. And I got to mention too, then the zombies that can't walk, all of a sudden they can walk really quickly now, and they can run after they break through.
Mm-hmm.
And that costume's not flattering on Ahsoka either. That costume does not do her. It just doesn't look right on her.
I agree, Fiona. That's a big fundamental thing with me about this. Is says how would you guys feel about witches and zombies in the original trilogy? They don't belong in Star Wars. That's child writing crap. I agree, absolutely. I don't need that in Star Wars. Hey, DJ Ronnie G, good to see you, my friend. Put it somewhere else. It's fine. I'm not a big fantasy fan myself, but there's some things that I like. Okay, I love the Lord of the Rings films and stuff. I don't need it in Star Wars. Star Wars needs to be a different animal. It doesn't need to be that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the least of the problems with a lot of the show. In my,
I don't know.
It would be like, because I think it would be kind of interesting if they did explain how this pertained to Jedi and Sith, and linked it somehow, but they haven't. They haven't been able to tell us anything. They're just, now we have witches, now we have whales, now we have whales that fly in space. Like how is that possible? And there's just so many different elements that have been brought in that are so make-believe and less grounded. So it's becoming less and less grounded, less and less believable as we're continuing on to the thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see dragons and
Game of Thrones show
and
up.
orcs. We're like we have probably have yet to see orcs. We'll see them because we're getting close to mixing this genre, and I don't mind the mixing of the genre, but I wasn't expecting that to be the case here. I wasn't expecting Ahsoka to be Rebels season 5. And I wasn't expecting it to also be a continuation of Clone Wars too. Like there's a lot of stuff from Clone Wars that you have to see in order to know what's going on here.
Yes.
Even a little bit. Because you're just looking at stuff like the scene where Balin is on that statue. And so if you didn't know anything about Clone Wars, and even if you did know about Clone Wars, if you even remembered what that was.
I forgot what it was. What was it?
It's the Mortis gods, the father, the brother, and the daughter. And they kind of alluded to the daughter with the owl. And again, it's all like this unexplained mysticism that you've got to go to Wikipedia to go find out, you know what I mean? Or you got to remember, or you got to have some nerd explain it to you. And it's great. Like, that's fine. I just feel like it's not for it's not for everyone anymore. Star Wars is for a specific group of people now. And I don't know, I enjoyed Andor. I thought it was really great. And so there are some things you can enjoy, but that's not one of them. For you know, Ahsoka left me kind of like waiting for the rest of the story. Like, okay, where's the
Yeah.
rest of the story?
Oh,
We
here's
got
Sabine getting her force powers now. There she
oh yeah,
goes.
she's like one of the best, the strongest force wielders ever.
Yep.
I guess
Much
so.
better than Ezra.
Better than Ezra?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry.
she had to push him.
You never heard of that
Better
band?
than Ezra. Yeah, better than Ezra.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it
That
made
was
it
a
Oh,
sound
bad
it's
joke. Bum. I got it.
Touring Machine. Hello there. Thing is that you're talking about it leaving you with questions. I got to be honest with you. Yes, I do have all those questions, and I don't care one bit about them. I don't care if they're ever answered. I mean, while I'm watching it, I care because I want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I don't ever care if they make a show again. You know, since I already have access to that thing, you know, they don't even pay for it. They get it from some, you know, we have a bunch of big family, I'll have access to it. I guess I'll sit there and watch it for curiosity, for conversation piece. But I don't care if I ever see this again. I don't care if they ever bring it back. And if they do, none of the questions plague me. Like, I won't go to sleep at night going, oh man, what were they really trying to say in Ahsoka, the show? What were those questions? I can't even be bothered to think about it. Maybe they're Michael Beacom. Michael Beacom has a super chat. He says, witches, zombies, what the what WTF is this? The Star Wars Halloween special? I hope so. When will Jason or Freddy be showing up? Star Wars edited for me in 1983. Yes, I agree. So yeah, it's just, if they make it again, I mean, you go to all that trouble to making it again, I'll be like, oh boy, this is a drowsy affair for me. So I can't even really work up a lot. I can't work up any anger. I can't give you any anger here. I can see I like the character of Ezra. I think that is the one thing I can be a little annoyed with. I think they ruined Ezra. Ezra was a kid when we last saw him. Now we see him as this actor. Nothing against him. He probably could have been good if the story had been well done. Now Ezra's a little wimp simp who needs a force boost from her to make that jump, which is stupid, asinine.
I refuse to believe it though. I do. I mean, that's just crazy. She's never used the force before, and now she's levitating people. Yeah, I don't.
That was so
I don't buy it.
You know what the robot chicken version of this was? He goes splat into the destroyer. Falls to the ground. I want robot chicken to make a version of that. But I mean, yeah, those are, you know, it gets you miffed a little bit. But and of course the troopers aren't shooting here. You know, they're too slow.
No, yeah. The guy is right there. He's not doing anything but watching his friend go down.
Yeah, and then they don't shoot, you know, at them before that other scene where the troopers are there. You know, looking at them, and they don't even try to take a shot. But it's just, you know, her getting the force powers. That's the problem. Just make her a kick-ass Mandalorian like she was in Rebels. There's no need for her to have force powers, and it's just part of that. Everyone gets a trophy participation. You know,
well, I thought it would have been really good if they had. It's the way they show her finally getting her powers. She was reaching for the lightsaber that fell, and I thought it would have been really cool if it moved just a little bit. She gets like totally shocked that it happened, and then but she can't actually do it. She doesn't have enough strength to do it, so she ends up using her blaster that's right on her arm, right? That's free, like
yeah.
What I mean, she's got like those little things that come out, and then she's also got an fire extinguisher on that sucker.
Yeah.
The other thing I have to say about the zombie is like the zombie looks like it was dead for months.
Yeah.
And yet these creatures just died. Did they not just die and then they're just reanimated? But it looks like they were just,
unless was that one of the red death troopers in the red armor? But maybe they had been dead
Those guys had been
de-
dead before.
maybe they had been dead for a while. Not
Okay.
like if what you had said before. Say they had somehow tied these powers to Darth Plagueis, and Plagueis was trying to, as you know, trying to live forever. So maybe this was an experiment gone wrong, or explain something why. But it's this Night Sisters. They immediately bring them back from the dead. So maybe if you tied that to Darth Plagueis, but you don't have any explanations for what these Night Sisters, allegedly, I guess they've. They've got powers, the Jedi, they can rival the Jedi. And the other thing is too, the character with the green witch with the green sword. Has she been training as a sword fighter for years? She never looked like she was had any of that inclination. And then she can fight Ahsoka, who's been fighting her whole life as a Jedi and been in the Clone Wars. I mean, when all you do is fight, how is this
Yeah.
woman even holding a candle to her? And the other scene is too, when they had all three of them. This is going back in the slideshow or back in the episode, but Ahsoka tells them just to go on. Why didn't they just take her out all 3-on-1 really quickly and then keep going? Like this one witch would be able to fight off three of them at once, or at least try. And they just walk around and leave Ahsoka to fight. It's like, why don't you just take her out quickly?
Right. That would have been a great idea, but
Yeah.
JD Lewis, good to see you, brother. Hope you're feeling better, man. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for popping in, buddy. And I don't know who quite this is directed at. I'm gonna need more context, Fiona. And yet you're still okay with the show, which really puzzles me. I'm not sure. Exactly said it twice, so I don't know.
I think
exactly.
once was deleted. Yep.
Oh well, I'm not sure of the context.
I'm not okay. I don't know. Well, I'm not okay with the show, but parts of it I did like,
okay with it.
bits and pieces of it. I guess maybe if you're a Rebels fan, would you be more disappointed? I've only watched 6 episodes of Rebels, and they didn't seem to really match the characters from Rebels that much to me, from what limited part I've watched. Oh my God, a character's putting their helmet back on. How did that not supposed to happen? Or I give the episode an extra half star for actually a character putting on their helmet. Usually they lose their helmets. But what really got me was why they didn't leave. Why didn't they leave earlier, and why now they're finally? Didn't they see them fighting down there? Why didn't they start firing if these guys are zombies that are dead anyway, or they've said they're sacrificing? Why are they shooting now? And then the other thing that really gets my goat here. All right, so now the ship is below the level that the stormtroopers, I guess maybe they could aim down and see. So you jump down onto the ship, right? Okay, cool, exit. Oh, fine, that's been done a million times. All right, now you go lower and you fly away. Why do they raise the ship up? David Tennant, would that be about it? Why do they raise the ship up to put themselves in line of fire of the stormtroopers? Why would you do that? You go down and go away, left or right. They're like, oh, here we are. Why don't you shoot us? What, the elevator was set to the top floor? They couldn't cancel. I mean, what? Who wrote this? What's going on?
Dave Filoni wrote this.
Dave Filoni wrote it.
Do this just so you could have the scene with them showing the lightsabers, and then 2 seconds later, the thing they all fall off anyway, and they're not shooting it. They can't detect the ship. They can't see the ship, and then the droid. Come on, David Tennant, don't raise the ship up to put the people in danger. I'm throwing my popcorn at the screen, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like stuff like that. Just you can't do that. Sorry, I'm getting my blood pressure up.
Like Fiona says, Filoni doesn't know how to set up anything. He's not writing. He is literally bashing his action figures together. Yeah, pretty much. He's awful.
That's true.
Yep, writing, kicking the can down the road kind of writing. We never have to explain anything because we always got the next episode. And at the last episode was, hey, next season. I'm watching this episode. I didn't like it in the first 7, right? But I'm going, hey, Joe Dog, good to see you. But I'm like, all right, you know what? I haven't liked it, but maybe we'll at least know some things by the end of this episode. Maybe I'll at least, there's some slight closure. I'm sure there'll be a cliffhanger, but that's one thing to have a cliffhanger. No one's begrudging you that. Every TV show, whether we like it or not, has been doing that for the past 30 years in Hollywood. However, everything was a cliffhanger. Everything. I mean, there's not one bit of satisfaction. The plot moved nowhere. What little there was of it, all they did was switch places between, let's see, Sabine and and what's her face and Ashoka switched places with Thrawn and Ezra. That's all the whole thing. That's the only thing that quote unquote happened in the whole thing. Nothing happened the whole time. It was 8 episodes of drivel, and all these people who were going nuts, saying the only thing they did like for the longest bit of stretch of episodes was, other than tidbits here and there that they enjoyed, like, some of the member berries, things like that. They really liked the Ray Stevenson character. Well, the last 2 episodes dropped the ball with him because you can only be walking around, standing around looking cool for so long. When something there has to be some sort of meaning to you, some sort of substance to your character. You can't just look cool all the time because he is cool, great actor. And go, oh, he's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see what they do with him. They do nothing with him. Doc Fortune, what's up, buddy? Nothing.
Yeah.
And obviously they're going to have to get another actor if they bring him back. But there's no answer for him. There's no answer for this little Chihuahua girl, whatever her name was. I forget who called her that, but
Shin.
Yeah, it's just Shin. Okay.
Oh man.
There's no closure to anything. We just know they've switched places, and that stupid scene when Ezra goes to the fleet and lands on the ship. I mean, obviously they're letting an older Imperial shuttle come aboard their ship. They can't just they wouldn't do this. They would have security protocols to say, hey, either tell us who you are, we're going to blast you out of space. But no, they had to make it funny and dramatic where he comes up and he takes off his helmet and surprises everybody. Like, if you're that stupid, no wonder you're going to get your ass handed to you in about 20-something years. With meaning the Republic. It was bad, man. Bad everywhere. Ugh. Sorry.
And so these are the characters. No, that was one of my rants too. So I guess these are characters referenced in the Clone Wars that I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
The guy, the person on the right looked like Captain America to me last night, but
oh my God.
And the Mandarin. But his character is useless in this. I mean, other than the one fight scene, I guess, or he just, God bless Ray Stevenson, but what he does very well with what he's given, but he's not given a lot. He's just a brooding character. I mean, and you don't know why he's there. He says in the last episode, I think, why he's got to stay there and go off on his own to start a new beginning, and she's got to go off on her own. And of course, there's all the boxes from Raiders of the Lost Ark. I guess there's arcs in there. I don't know what that's. At least tell us what's in there, so you're like, oh my God, I can't believe Thrawn escaped with the widgets that are going to destroy the universe. And then Clobberin Times is 100% right. He would say, I'm Ezra Bridger, I'm a Jedi Knight.
Please don't
escape
destroy
from
me.
Thrawn's ship. And then this is getting lemons, apples, everything thrown at the screen. Tomatoes. They're coming out with weapons drawn, and he comes out with the helmet still on, just for the member berry moment. This is got to be one of the worst writing jobs ever. I mean, just
why?
I mean, it's not Highlander too bad, but it's stupid. If you're any kind of brain, you're not coming off with the helmet on, unless it got glued shut with crazy glue. I mean, why the hell would you come off the ship like that with your hands raised and not tell everyone you're Ezra Bridger and you've escaped from the other galaxy and you've escaped from Thrawn, and here's what Thrawn's doing, and we've got to go after him now. He's trying to reform the Empire.
Yeah, at least he could have taken off his helmet.
It was so
dramatic. Yeah, for dramatic. Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, funny joke. We could have shot you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Very funny.
Series over. Yeah,
so shot him.
So in the other galaxy, it's like Ezra just died, killed by Hera. Yeah.
Oh dear,
that's
so
just
nothing.
I mean, and don't they have a writer's room that looks at this and says,
no,
maybe people are going to think this is stupid that he comes. We just want to have that moment. The moment is not any greater because you extended for 30 seconds by having him come out with the helmet. He just come out, run off the ship and say, Hera, it's great to see you, with that same smile. It doesn't add anything. It's just a quote, they're trying to say it adds a couple of moments of drama, but it's it's
phony drama. I hate nothing I hate more than phony drama, where you have to write something stupid to get a little drama out of it.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is great. What a great ending. We're sitting around. Hey, we're stranded in the other side of the planet. Good thing we're here. We don't have to worry about all that Empire coming back and stuff. Yeah. Well, no, we kind of caused a lot of trouble, didn't we? Because we screwed up. Thrawn's free now.
Well, Sabine is, as Princess Fiona said, Sabine's the bad guy in this one because she led them to Ezra. Ezra made the sacrifice to trap Thrawn in the other galaxy, and she's the one that came back, and then they weren't able to prevent him from getting back to the main galaxy. So
that's true.
It's all on her, and I guess you could blame the reformation of the Empire on Sabine. Then, basically, I mean, if she destroyed that, all because she wanted to see Ezra. So,
okay, now who was that right there in that last shot?
That was Darth Vader.
Anakin.
Okay. Okay. What was that?
It was his Force Ghost.
Is it?
Yeah,
that was a Force
They
Ghost.
actually like did the animation for the Force Ghost, like they were supposed to do. They should have done it in.
But they never said he was a Force Ghost in that other episode.
Yeah, because
no, they didn't.
Yeah, because we still don't know what he was in that, if it was really him or whatever. But this one was a Force Ghost.
You think it was a Force Ghost? You might. I'm not saying you're wrong. But when did they say it? When did they say it?
They do not know if which one is the Force Ghost and not the people who wrote this. So I don't know.
Remember that episode he was in? There was it a Force Ghost? Was it inside her head? Who knows? But all fine and good if you're going to answer it at some point.
Yeah, they never did.
No, I mean I'm fine with it being a Force Ghost. That's great, cool. More power to you with the Force Ghost. But tell us.
Yeah. Or that could have just been an internal struggle that she was having, imagining Anakin, which would have been equally okay by me too, and just say that was a dream sequence, or that was her battling her inner demons and feeling guilty over, what Anakin, becoming Darth Vader. I mean, clearly the last, it's heavily insinuated that's a Force Ghost. That's what I believe. And the Force Ghost thing doesn't make sense anymore either now, because, in the last Jedi, then Yoda, or was it the last movie, Yoda's able to move things and affect things, when they destroy the Jedi Temple. They changed that. Yeah.
Well, not to mention in Return of the Jedi, the Force Ghost sits. So that was
Well, they get tired when you're a ghost. Even as a ghost, you get
tired. Sit down.
Get bad back. Yeah, it's tough to live forever. That always gets you. That can be tough. Yeah. So I mean, but the framework is there with these characters from Rebels. As much as I love watching the first part of Rebels, I said I thought it was pretty darn good. So there's they didn't advertise this as a sequel to Rebels, but it obviously is, in Clone Wars, as you said, retro. But the characters don't seem to match up.
They don't.
They're more dark and depressing, and Ezra was always so much fun too, from what I've watched. And
I really like Ezra.
Kid there,
the cartoon. Did you ever watch the cartoon retro?
Yeah, I did a long time ago, and I tried to watch some of it, but I guess I don't know, my attention span. I don't have time to watch all of the Rebels again.
No, I got you.
That's a lot.
I got you.
But I know exactly, like I know the story. I watched it. And then there are so many supplemental videos out there to help catch you up on stuff, or like things you did not see during these shows, and so it's great. But and I kind of like a more straightforward narrative where you get some intrigue and you get a setup and a payoff during your storytelling, and we just didn't get any of that here. And so it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. But
I absolutely see what you're saying, and I would like to ask you both a question. If assuming we're so fortunate to get another season, let's see here again. And I fully admit I have the attention span of a 5-year-old these days. I'm when something's not catching my interest, things will fly by me, and I'll go, "Huh? What did happen?" I have to run it back sometimes. What did they say? Anyway, so maybe I missed something. Now, hey, Canadian Spider-Man does what a
Hey,
Canadian
Spider-Man.
Spider can. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. Okay, so Sabine brings them the map thingy. They're now able to go to the world Thrawn, Thrawn is at, right?
Yeah.
Whereas what's her name? Ahsoka has to take the whale route.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
but now we know where that world is.
Yeah.
There's a map to it. They have that. They
Yeah.
had that big old. They had that. Was it that warp ring thingy to bring them to pick up Thrawn, right?
Yeah.
So how stranded is Ahsoka and what's her name? They know where it is now, or I guess Thrawn has the map, but you could go like, what's the plan? It will be about Ezra going to steal that map and them going to get Ahsoka back in the next season. In other words, it doesn't seem like a big deal now.
Well, there's a lot of things that's in the story that they have that they can actually easily, like, I think it may, I'm not saying easily totally, but I think they could get back home without anybody having to come travel, like Ahsoka and Sabine, because Hu Yang downloaded the entire schematics of the Eye of Sion. So he knows he has the entire plan of that.
Okay.
Where
So
did he do
they
that?
could just
forgetting.
rebuild that, and we know that Sabine is an expert at technology, building things. Huyan can help, and they can rebuild it.
Dumb name for a droid, by the way, but good.
Huyang, yeah, which is and then also if they wanted to do what was suggested in the series, which is they can call the Purgles back to, or the space whales back to Peridia,
Right.
and they can take them.
It's probably what's going to happen. That's
Yeah,
probably
because you just use the witches said in a few statements, that was how they traveled to the other galaxies. So that's possible for them to do. I don't think they're stranded necessarily. It would be relatively. They have one of two choices to come back home. So yeah, I don't feel.
Okay.
I don't even feel sorry for them for being stuck out there. It's their
No.
fault.
Don't damn fault.
Yeah, they're should have left everything the way it was. So
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was confused. I was very confused about that too, and I guess I didn't watch the end of not seeing the end of Rebels. I guess they're stuck in this world that no one can find. But now, don't they have the coordinates? Don't you know where you are? So was the only thing. Why did they need that big Scion, eye of, from the big eye ship to travel back to the galaxy? Can't the Star Destroyer go into hyperspace on its own unless they never said that it was broken?
No, that's
I think they can't be
not that
because
fast.
traveling to another galaxy requires a whole nother
Yeah.
a whole nother like jiggamajig in
Oh,
order to do
yeah.
that. You can't
So
just
you can't
hyperspace
just
there.
you can't hyperspace there, even if you know the coordinates,
No,
because
it's a transwarp
it seemed
drive.
like
It's a
it seemed
tardigrade.
like but it seemed like they were all when they were lost and they didn't have the coordinates. Ahsoka, because Sabine had given the MacGuffin with the coordinates to the
Right.
bad guys.
Right.
Then Ahsoka said, "Well, we can just go with the space whales," and she's not even sure that they're going to take them to that planet. And of course, they did.
Mhm.
But she was making it sound like if they had that and they had the coordinates, they could have used their hyperspace to get there.
You
Because
can't.
they weren't making that big. It was only the bad guys that had that big eye of Sauron, I guess, whatever you want to call it, spaceship. But they
Yeah.
should have explicitly explained that, or because then if they had those coordinates, then they could have never gotten there unless
No.
they built this fancy dancy spaceship.
Yes.
You got me. I'm so
But here-
checked out. I'll leave that up to that retro because I got nothing.
Here's the other thing, because I like I like the details of things.
Mhm.
It's technically, if I'm thinking back to this is technically Ahsoka's fault that Thrawn is here. Is in the regular galaxy, because she is the one who went to the temple, found that map, and instead of destroying it right then and there, she brings
Oh,
it to
that's right.
Sabine. So it's technically her fault.
Yep.
Our hero is the ultimate
Well, that's what
reason
Fiona.
for
Point.
her.
Yeah, Fiona said that. Yeah, that's the bad. She's the villain.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I
that's a
mean,
good point. I didn't even think of that.
Ahsoka, it's all Ahsoka's fault for not destroying it when she had the opportunity to.
Yeah.
And then she's saying, "Oh well, you don't have, we can't go to the other galaxy to get Ezra, but why do you have the map? Why do you have the map? Why do you need the map if so it is very suspicious when you think about it. She actually was the catalyst for all of this trouble.
Of course.
Yeah, you're right. She could have just destroyed that map then and there, and then
Mhm.
Sabine shouldn't have taken it from Ahsoka. Didn't she steal it from Ahsoka?
Yeah, she stole it, but I
She
mean,
stole it, but she could have destroyed it right away though. But I
yeah,
guess they
she's
want
a
to get
horrible person.
yeah, they want to get Ezra back. But I'm just very confused and not don't you know where you are? Can't you? I guess can't you get back to? I guess I don't know. They didn't explain things enough to me. You know why they're stuck in this guy. You just need a few lines of the screenplay just to clarify it.
Mhm.
And of course, that's not the the be all end all. But Thrawn is back in the galaxy, I guess, and of course, this all leads up to the new Star Wars that I can't stand, I guess, anyway. So they're not. I guess here they had a chance. Some people thought they were going to use the different realities, maybe to say that you could have changed things up and erased Rey and all the new stuff, and just say that somehow the galaxy took a whole new direction. Now, then I would have loved this the series if you had said the sequels never happened,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
with all the different pathways in the universe, and maybe say that it or have her go back in time. Ahsoka, something we know I
Right.
despise time travel, but somehow change change that path, change what happens with Anakin's grandson going evil. I don't know, but just that whole I just can't stand what they did to Luke Skywalker, so I kind of
Yeah,
erased that
wow.
from my mind. It doesn't exist, but that's what this is all leading up to. Unfortunately, they don't seem
Mhm.
to be changing that path. And the other thing too is Star Wars is always a great property for young guys, right? Young kids, and
Mhm.
you had a lot of girls. My sister loved Princess Leia, but growing up, it was 99% guys playing with their action figures and toys, and
Uh-huh.
I'd shoot my sister's Barbie doll with Luke Skywalker, with Han Solo's blaster or whatever. We'd have the Barbies versus Star Wars, and they've gone seems like they've gone so far to try to go with this forces female stuff. It doesn't mean you can't have any fans, but it seems like they're really you know they don't have any huge male heroes anymore, and Ezra was not a character to look up to in
Nah,
this, and
he was a wimp.
Thrawn's the bad guy, so it's like, why are they I don't know, I guess I'm answering a hypothetical question, but they're also going that route too, where you know where they've denigrated Luke Skywalker so much. It's like yes, you can have obviously, female Jedi and great, heroes, but
Mhm.
they're also seem to be going that route too, where they're just none of the guys are that stand worthy. I don't know. It's just
Well,
something that rubs me the wrong way about the direction of Star Wars too. I guess it ties back to Luke. I guess that's always in the back of my mind.
they've ruined all the male characters and the female characters just in different ways by
Mhm.
denigrating all one. You denigrate them all, and When you write in favor of one, you write in favor of none, and it's just horrible. And there are none of these great. They've ruined classic characters, and now they don't know how to make any good ones anymore. Now they've taken these Rebels characters, which are none of them are in a league with the original good crew or anything, but still they were pretty decent characters, and now they're turned to crap. I never liked the character of Ahsoka because I didn't think Anakin, who was not a Jedi master, should be given a Padawan. I thought that was a dumb idea. Even that when they first brought Clone Wars, which was a movie in the theaters at first. And so I just didn't think he needed a Padawan. I thought it was ridiculous. But a lot of people who grew up watching Clone Wars love the character so much. And here we go. And no one more than Dave Filoni, by the way, who quote unquote created her. So that's why we have this show, because Dave Filoni wanted it. And Fiona does make a pretty good point about how this giant Rube Goldberg machine the size of a building would look at this show and be shocked at the amount of contrivance in it. Very, very, very good point. Yep. Well said, Fiona.
Yeah.
So this is that part where this happened and something else happened, and actually nothing was really happening, but it made you think something might have been happening when it really wasn't happening so much. If you happen to know what I'm talking about. Lightsaber you with my lightsaber. We'll shoot you with our gun things. We outnumber you 4,000 to 1. Well, we out Jedi you 2 to 40. So we'll just Jedi your asses all over the place with our Jedi sticks, and you'll stand there and let us chop you up because that's what the fans want, baby. And they were going nuts over it too. Those reaction videos. Whew, man. I mean,
well, I guess if you like it, you like it. I mean,
you like it? Yeah.
I know, but it is kind of it is kind of cringy though. It is kind of cringy. I
understand that, and again, I'm just this is just one guy commenting, just as they're commenting, and they would probably think I'm full of crap, and that's fine. There's nothing. But what I'm saying is, I can't get. There's nothing to get excited about here for me. Nothing I haven't seen done before, and done 10 times better with better characters, with good characters and good stories. In other words, I've seen the best of what Star Wars can offer in great movies, and this is and with great characters, and none of this comes close to it. So why would I get excited about this mediocre junk that is just, it's slow, it's boring, it's we get it. They're fighting, fighting a bunch of stormtroopers and a bunch of zombie stormtroopers. Big deal. It's not like you're seeing them fight worthy adversaries, like they're Jedi's fighting other Sith or some other beings that are really cool, that are really tough. And it's an exciting fight that moves, it flows like Star Wars is supposed to. It's just, hey guys, we better fight these what do they call it? The stormtroopers again. Let's go through those motions. It's like they're sitting around, since they guess we better fight them, right? Let's fight them and stuff and things and whatever. You can't get interested in it, can't get all that excited, but people are, hey, there were people screaming because the lightsaber was blue.
You knew Anakin was coming as red. Yeah, it's red.
There was one I saw a couple of them, and these were these reaction videos. Someone's going, "Oh my god, he's holding a lightsaber!" So another one, it's blue. I'm not making it up. I mean, look, Jesus, you thought they won the lottery, man. They went, oh my god, they were going, oh, that is so cool. They showed other shots, so I don't even know what they were preferring to. Like, that is so cool. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my god. Oh, I'm like, wow. What? Look, again, if it makes you happy, but I really gotta wonder, man. Just how many times have we seen all this kind of stuff?
Yeah. Well, plus the fights were bad too, as you were saying. You don't care of them, but they were so slow.
I just want to see a bunch of Star Warsy stuff. They want to see Star Warsy stuff. They're not really that discriminate about how they get it. Fiona says, you realize that all of those female reactors in the reaction videos, they only use that stuff to promote their OnlyFans. I'm not joking. You can go find them. I don't know who they are, so I can't say one way or another. This was a live stream showing a bunch of them that they clipped together from other. I guess I wouldn't know how to find those reactions videos if you paid me. I wouldn't know where to look for them. So I just saw someone showing them. They got them off of various YouTube channels. So I don't realize that because I don't even know. Are you saying that some of these? I mean, there were a couple of fairly attractive young women, but there are a lot of they're all like just a bunch of Star Wars fans to me, with Star Wars stuff in their background, and so I don't know if any of them were. What was that term they always say for those Twitch girls or what's all these different
Oh, the
thoughts or whatever.
yeah, or,
If that's what you're
the
saying,
hot
they
tub,
are.
the hot tub.
Yeah, none of it looked like that. They were just like people. Just
Yeah.
because I'm making fun of them for, for overreacting. In my opinion, overreacting. They could have a reaction they
Yeah.
want. I don't know if any of it was like that or not. Fiona, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't. They just look like, oh, it's just nope. It's all a scam to get nerds to go and send the money. Well, most of the ones they were showing were just geeks. But yes, once or twice they got to one that was a fairly attractive young woman that didn't look like they were particularly scantily clad or anything like that. So I don't know. I'm not saying I know those things exist, right? I know there are women who. Do you
Never
want the
seen
links?
anything like that ever on the internet ever.
Oh, you want the leaks? I went to no. I believe you. I mean, again, I don't know. I saw it on a live stream right before I came on here, and they were showing it. I'm not gonna say the channel, but it was a Star Wars channel, and they were showing it because they were a channel that doesn't like Ahsoka. Hey, Herc 130, and they were making kind of goofing on the people that are going overreacting nuts in their opinion and in mine. So they were I don't know who you're talking about. Did you want the links or whatever? But it's not necessary. I mean, I'm just kind of. A little bit. I mean, again, they're not hurting anybody. They're not stealing hubcaps or anything. I'm just saying their reactions are kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's Julia,
Just
I'm not,
over the top. Well,
I'm
maybe some
actually,
of it.
yeah, I'm glad that they're doing that because I don't want them to do other things that's not so nice. So anyway,
Good
I feel
point.
like look, if somebody loves Star Wars the way it is right now, I think a lot of it has to do with generational things about like that we probably can't understand because it's just a different generation of people that want different things. They want like all the action and less of the story and more of the Easter eggs they can find, but there, no substance. I don't think this story is for any of the people who used to love the original and is very critical of some of the stuff that's coming out of with Disney Star Wars right now. And it just so happens when we first heard that Disney was going to take on this property, a lot of people were super, super happy about that. They were like,
I thought
okay,
it'd be great.
finally, yeah, finally, we're going to get some content from this from Disney that is going to be Star Wars based, and we're gonna be so happy. And it never happened. It it seems like ever since they've gotten their hands on it, it's just gone further and further down the tube. So
yeah. Well,
I don't know what to say.
I'll tell you this. A lot of them, again, from what I saw, their backgrounds in their houses, I mean, in their little whatever their setup was for their YouTube channel, whatever it is, looked like they had a bunch of merch behind their desk, just the same as any Trek or Star Wars fan or whatever comics fan, whatever would have. I think they're the kind. I've been around all of geekdom long enough to know that there are going to be some people, and again, I'm not saying you should be like me because I'm a malcontent apparently, and why be miserable all the time. Hey, Wes Cagle. All I'm saying is, I don't like to see the things I love destroyed by people that don't know what they're doing with them. But again, that's just one opinion. There are a lot of people that are always a little bit more lax in that will just they're sheep, in my opinion, because they'll take any old corporate slop that they're dealt, and they won't say, well, you know what? Just because you guys, this corporation, quote unquote, own the rights to it, I'm going to accept that as my fill in the blank. Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Marvel, whatever your poison may be, and I have a few of them. There are people who are just kind of indiscriminate, and if it's got that label on it, and I've encountered this for all my life, any old Trek called Trek, any old thing called Star Wars, any old thing with Batman on it, Superman, whatever you name it, they're never going to question anything. They don't believe in questioning authority. They're going to take it, and they're just not terribly critical or discriminate or analytical about it. And they just I can't relate to that personally. That's not in me, but that's what I've learned over the course of time. It's just not everyone. We are a relatively rare group. For example, none of us here agree on everything by any stretch of the imagination, but we accept each other's differences of opinion. We don't hate someone if they don't like. For example, if we like it, we don't hate someone for disliking it, or the other way around. We don't hate.
They
someone
might be
for
wrong.
liking. Well, yeah, again, you're using humor. Again, we use humor like you're probably wrong, but it is, and we're tolerant of the opposing opinions. What we're talking about with people like this, because these people whom they got all these reaction videos from this particular live stream, have compiled many tweets they've gotten from these people over the past couple of weeks, because this channel is critical of Ahsoka, and they are not like, hey, you guys disagree, let's talk about it. They're like, you guys are garbage, we hate you, we used to be in your channel, we hate your channel now, wishing death upon them, all this other kind of vile crap, because they dare to break the orthodoxy. And that means there's a certain contingent of Star Wars fans who are sheep, who are not only indiscriminate, they're downright zealots. And I've been fighting this with Star Wars alone just since The Force Awakens came out. I've learned that. And
Star Trek, you mean?
No, Star Wars. Well, Star Wars, ever since the piece of crap Force Awakens came out in 2015. That's when I started being critical of that I got a lot of zealots coming after me. And then but everything, Star Trek that was before that, whatever it is, it happened in big time with Doctor Who when that got destroyed a few years ago. It happens with a lot of these things where the people who don't want it criticized, it is sacrosanct. Basically, it's a religion. To me, it's an entertainment and something that it's deep. It's in my heart, in my soul. I love it very much. Many of these things brought me pleasure for many years, and I love them. But it's not a religion to me. In other words, if it's a religion to me, then I can never say this is a bad episode of Star Trek.
Right.
I can never say Star Trek is flawed. If it's a religion, I can't say Doctor Who has garbage episodes. I can't say that I don't like Return of the Jedi or whatever. I can't. If it's a religion, I can't criticize it and say that it's not perfect. If you view it as perfect and it's something that you take personal offense because someone is criticizing, you need to look at yourself. It's become a religion. There's some movies I just love, or TV shows just love. And when I've heard people criticize them or even make fun of them and say they're bad, and it makes me chuckle, it makes me laugh. I even want to hear what they have to say. I can appreciate the criticism, and if you say you hate that movie that I love, I'm gonna go, wow, really? And it doesn't ruin my day. I don't care. I didn't make the damn movie.
Yeah.
But these are people who don't live in the same sphere as many of us who can take a criticism. You know how much I hate just fill in the blank. I mean, whether it's anything to do with the troll we had last night, Mark, or whatever. He came in here trashing. He just wanted to start a fight. He was a Snyder bot, and he was trashing Christopher Reeve and all that stuff, trying to get me to bite on it. I just said,
saying
Christopher Reeve.
Well, he said that came in, with
yes, because he's a Snyder,
like Henry Cavill. No, I can't say his name.
Cavill. I always say Cavill.
Thank you, Cavill. I can't say his name.
God,
God bless him. But yeah, greater than Christopher Reeve, and that's just a way to get people riled up.
But he was just trying to start a fight because he knows I hate Snyder. Well, I know many friends who don't hate him, and we joke about him, we tease each other about it, and that's fine. But he came in just to be a troll, and you know what? And then he would admit to being a troll. Admit to being a troll at least. I'm like, okay, if you're trying to screw one to get me to come off at you, that's fine. Metamus is here. So
he bought the Creature from the Black Lagoon figure over Ahsoka, which was $7 more. Good choice.
So all I'm saying is this: I'll finish the point. We'll move on. But if you don't have a sense of, how much you love it, if you can't have a sense of humor about it and a sense of realism, to where, so what if someone denigrates it or makes fun of it or criticizes? They're not stopping you from enjoying it. And by the same token, these none of this should be sacrosanct. If you view it, if it's a religion to you, again, you can have any religion you want, but maybe since it is entertainment and art, maybe you should look at yourself. If you're wishing death upon someone that criticizes in public something that you like, you've got a problem.
Yeah, that's really crazy. Now, I did hear a YouTuber say something about that he got some death threats about this. Let me see who I
Yes,
was.
a couple of people and a couple people that I actually know on with some channels.
I
I
think
hope
it was
none of
X-Wing.
them X-Wing.
Mhm.
Yeah, hope they didn't listen to my rant tonight.
Yeah, I think it was. I thought I was watching X-Wing, and he said that
Well,
somebody.
it's the people that I've seen them on Twitter talking, and people have mutual friends with them. Echo Base Network was one of them. I haven't talked to them,
Echo Base, yeah.
but they were getting a lot of from. They're even quitting the Star Wars game.
Look,
I don't know
I
them super
I
well. But
love their channels, and I don't agree with everything that they say. I am into all of this for the entertainment of watching like stuff. You know, not,
yeah,
and sometimes I like corny stuff. I like bad, I'm willing to say something is bad, but still like it. You can always
Yeah,
there's things I like that are guilty pleasures. I won't lie to you and tell them it's good. Like,
me too.
but so there was some enjoyment from some of, these shows that they've been having lately. And I can't say that it's like top quality, but to have an argument about this to the point where you're calling people names and death threats and all that stuff, it's like you gotta like take a deep breath and just go out and like touch grass or
yeah,
something. It's like you've
Yes,
lost part of like reality. It shouldn't be that uh uh serious. So
absolutely. Yeah,
um
I mean, you don't have to
I
disagree on
I
everything. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, and I think also too, like anybody who like really absolutely loves this thing to the point of like, freaking out or making you know, you know, exclaiming how wonderful it is. And there are a lot of people who are like, Dave Filoni can have everything. He's wonderful. He's a marvelous. He's a genius. This is a masterpiece. And I'm like, wow, this is really crazy because I don't think so. But good for you. Like if that makes you feel good, that's fine. But
Yeah,
like it for those people it works for. I'm just super happy for them. They're getting what they want
yeah,
and
that's right.
good for them. But it's not for me it did not work, and it sounds like for most people here just it didn't work as great as it could have worked. I mean, I couldn't stop laughing when Ahsoka got out of her ship and floated into outer space. And
yeah,
that was hilarious.
yeah,
I couldn't. I that was the. I mean, come on, you got to have fun with this stuff. It's
yeah,
really messed up. And I was like, wow, they really, went there. Now I know what I'm watching. I'm watching schlock, basically, with with the veneer of Star Wars on top of it. And it is not um,
Yeah,
great stuff, but it's funny. It's fun. So I had fun with it. That's why I say I enjoyed it, and I love things that make me laugh. But no, this is not good. This is not a good show.
no. I mean, again, but like I say, I don't. People, like you said, people can like whatever they want to like. I mean, again, I think it was that. Again, I heard it was the Echo guy. Again, Echo guys. I don't know, but whoever it was, it's ridiculous that you would get death threats
Yeah,
just because
that's
she's criticizing. I
so
mean,
sad.
it's one thing. Even I
it's
think it's a little
scary. Yeah,
it's childish if you say you guys don't like it, so I'm quitting. Whatever. If you that's one thing, and they could just laugh. But when you're saying you should go wishing all kind of bad things on people because they're just criticizing it, it is just again those are the Star Wars zealots. Those are
Yeah,
zealots of any kind. And Fiona, I do. I don't think Clubby appreciates the lengths these cleavage tubers go to cleavage tubers go to to play a character. They understand their customers. A few thousand action figures for geek cred is just what. And no, it's just no. I understand. I know. I understand that fully, Fiona. What I'm telling you is that's not the people I saw all people like that. I know what those people look like. I can tell the difference. That had nothing to do with the people I saw in that live stream that were clipped with all the reaction videos. They weren't anything like that. I know you must think I'm a 5-year-old, but I do know my geeks from my thoughts. And the ones people I saw, none of them were like that because I do know what those people.
Oh, I
look
did
like.
see that. Yeah, I did see that clip too, and yeah, it was. I think
wasn't
they're
anyone like that.
people that typically do reaction videos, and I've actually watched some of the reaction videos, and the reaction videos can be really fun too. So,
But did you see
know, like, I
anybody
love
like that though?
No, not in that particular video. I saw some couples and some people that I've
Right.
known from reaction shots, or I love Jethro Tull, and I get made fun of for loving Jethro Tull a lot of time with my friends too. Especially we joke about it. Like we had a keg party, and I'm like, I get to play some Jethro Tull. They're like, all right, you get one song, in college. But yeah, so like Jethro Tull reaction videos or people, hearing, a song they've never heard before, can be really fun. So there's a place for them. And Fiona's talking about this. I guess that cleavage tuber. That's a great phrase.
That's a good one, but that's not. Believe me, I know. I'm not.
No,
even,
that wasn't the people I saw.
I know
either,
all about that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, that's not what we're in. What was in the people who were showing that live stream. All those reaction views that they put together. I don't know which live stream you saw. It was no one like that in there, and they were just actual geeks who do those sorts of things. So I'm well aware. Indie Key Comics, good to see you. I'm well aware of those types of YouTubers and Twitch streamers and all that stuff, thoughts or whatever they call them. But I ought to be. I watch it. I look a lot of it.
I scroll right by though if I happen to find one very quickly though.
Yeah, I look at a lot of Instagram. I don't know better.
Is listening.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, it's the state of the fandom is really crazy because I really put this particular show here has divided fans in a big way. Because you have, I have seen many YouTubers that are typically really excited about Star Wars and a lot of the stuff that's put out there really like look at this and say, oh, this is so this was not it. And they were highly critical of this, and you could see that they were trying to give it some credit. But ultimately they were watching, they weren't really like enjoying it as much as some of the other stuff that they've watched in the past. Like anytime you see like people who were pro Disney Star Wars kind of like go, this I didn't understand this episode, or this episode really didn't have the oomph that I was expecting, or it left me in a daze, and I was like, wow, yeah. So I know I'm not crazy. And I watch a lot of these content creators because I want to know, like, am I missing something, and am I being too rough on somebody's creative endeavors? And it's no, these are all valid because it's clearly, there clearly is something going on wrong. And I've seen people actually say, oh, you're stupid because you don't get these characters, or you're dumb, you're not a real Star Wars fan because you didn't watch every single episode of the Clone Wars to know all of the detail about the Mortis gods. And it's like, wow, that is if anything, you should be in it. If you feel so strongly about it, why don't you be more supportive and try to explain if you feel like somebody needs to know this information. But really, why should you explain this to somebody when that was the job of the show, to explain all of the details in itself?
Good point. Yeah.
Why do you need?
Because if you never watched the cartoon, the ending means nothing to you with
right,
Balin on those mountains there. They could have had him, saying something or talking out loud or explaining things. Now I've reached yada yada yada, and this is where I'm going to do XYZ, to take over the galaxy or to bring back, these my form of Jedis or something. Give us something. And Shin, I guess, is why did he abandon her, and why did he not include? And she's off, and she's got to take over from the take over that other group. I mean, I guess they're setting up a fight between Sabine's group with I did really like those turtle snail creatures. I thought they were kind of fun. But that's another Ewok, cute little
Ewoks.
thing they're
That's
going.
exactly what I call
That's
them.
what they were going for, the Ewoks
Yeah,
again. But they were fun, and
yeah, they're
and
cute.
that can be in Star Wars. That's okay. But that's what they're setting up. I don't know if we're
Yeah,
actually going to get to see that. If this makes if they actually get a second season.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
it's
The views just fell off for the season, so it it might be very telling on its own that they need to do something when it comes to structuring these shows.
Mhm.
It was one of the biggest problems I had too with the shows was how short they were, and they really. I mean, if we had given them more time, I think they would have just wasted it too. I mean, if it
Yeah,
was because you could basically whittle down the first 3 episodes into 10 minutes each, and you wouldn't lose the story that they've built in. And
yeah,
and and just the correct writer could have come in and fixed that up. I don't think Dave Filoni should be writing all of Star Wars from now on. Like he has some interesting ideas, and then he needs somebody to come in and say, "Hey, look, that's not going to work with the present lore of Star Wars. You can't fundamentally change everything about how the Force works."
yeah.
And yeah, that it's a it's a it's a but like I said, I do enjoy a messy film or a messy series every once in a while. So um, that's on me.
Yeah.
No, let's roll with that. It's
As long as
fun.
you just don't say you like Highlander too, like J-Man. That's another, like I was teasing. But of course, still hasn't seen the theatrical cut, which I do have a copy of. And we gotta set something. We keep threatening to do that, like make him watch the theatrical cut and do a watch party for that, so he gets to experience the horror of Highlander 2, which does not exist in this dojo. But
Man,
yeah, but you can have good natured fun about it. Like
yeah.
Raquel started watching Princess Bride and she turned it off after 15 minutes, which is inconceivable. Yes, that was a very bad dad joke, but it's okay. I still like Raquel, and she did
Yeah.
promise to try to watch it again.
Uh,
But I mean, just certain things, people don't like, or
mhm.
and this just the writing and you don't get enough. So you've got 8 episodes, and this is called the golden age of TV, allegedly, but you're
Well,
not getting enough answers, and they could have made this into a 2.5 hour movie, made for TV movie,
yeah,
what they used to do in the
perfect.
old
Yes,
days, like,
yes,
and cut out all the extra garbaggio that you don't need, and just streamline it back down, and, still
exactly.
it would have a lot of problems, but,
Mhm.
if Dave Filoni is out there, he wants to hire me to help write it, I'm but,
Well, I think so if you were to do something like that where you had a 2-hour movie, you would be just taking out some of the fluff. Like I was talking to a friend about this, and I believe like all of the scenes with Hera in it could have just been removed because
yeah,
she was an insignificant character. Um, and maybe she means a lot in Rebels for a lot of people who watched Rebels, but in this particular thing, she's just eye candy. I mean, how many times did we see a rear end shot of her and her walking somewhere? She's just walking to places and just standing around.
Who?
So Hera,
Hera.
Hera?
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh
well,
yeah, yeah. There you
as
go.
I said, I'm
No
guilty
complaints.
towards, green ladies always, yeah, yeah. So, as a Star Trek fan, yeah, yeah. But, yeah, no, you're right, uh, she didn't really do much anything really in the
no,
series. She's just there because she was in Rebels, right? Other than sending the mission, you know, the mission out, And then of course, then she takes her son on that mission and almost gets him killed. It's like,
You
why are
know,
you
she
taking
should
your
have been
son?
arrested for
What are you
alone.
doing? And I mean, I don't mind the going undercover, and yeah, you've got the general that is kind of disobeying order, like the bad Commodore, that
Yeah,
in Star Trek, or I shouldn't say the bad, but the person not following orders that kind of bends the rules. Um, that's okay, but yeah, taking her son on that mission, and yeah, that's the classic stuff where someone doesn't
That was dumb.
yeah,
Pop Culture
leadership
Republic.
something, yeah.
So what did shout them out?
Yeah. Hey, Pop Culture.
Hey,
Yeah,
Pop
but
Culture Republic.
but the people not, I mean, the higher ups not listening. That's a common trope. But yeah, this could have been really streamlined down. They've got all this time, so they've got 8 hours, so they can fill 8 hours. But and as Raquel always says, that it's not like an anthology where you're telling 8 different stories or 8 different missions. There's really only one 8-hour mission in this show, and they're chasing this MacGuffin around, and there's nothing really happens. There's no resolution. It's that's the problem when you've got 8 hours to fill with one. There's a reason movies aren't 8 hours, and that they're
yeah,
an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, or maybe 3 hours at most. But there's really not enough story in there to fill this out to begin with. So
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
and I think maybe everybody should have known that they didn't know what the force really is, because
mhm.
um, they had this whole scene with Hera hearing lightsabers in episode 4 or 5? Yeah, episode 5. And I'm like, she doesn't have the force. Why is she hearing?
Yeah, it was underwater or some kind of thing.
And I was like, they don't know what the force is. They
No.
don't know the force. Everybody has the force. So at any point anybody could just suddenly turn into a Jedi. That's really it used to be special, right?
Not anymore. They
None
like
of-
to. They
yeah.
like to take. These modern cultural vandals like to beat the special right out of all these IPs. Beat them out of it. Beat that special out of there till it's a big pile of nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
No, it's a
so
real
tired of
shame.
looking at this thing. Oh,
Well, here I just
I'm-
wanted to show. Here, I'm going to stop the
do something else.
stop my camera. Yeah, but I did want to show. I do want to show a couple of the clips that or not clips, pictures that. Of course, you got to humor me, right? I got.
As long as
you
you're not
don't
gonna get me in
have to,
trouble.
but no. It's just images, still images. Just ones that were just driving me extra crazy. So let me.
Why are you
just
wound
show
up
that.
about the show? You're worse than those people who are going, it's blue. It was a lightsaber. Oh my
Yeah. I did get pretty for me. I did get pretty wound up, I guess. Yeah, normally I don't get that wound up.
At least you got the right way. So.
Yeah. So I screenshotted these last night, so no, we're okay showing this. But this is, of course, there were a couple that I thought I had clipped last night, but I didn't get to show. But this is Ezra. I gotta, someone's got to do a meme to this one, like how stupid my
They should
helmet
have
is
shot him
glued
right
on.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my helmet is stuck on. Yeah. And that ship, actually, I noticed, was actually on the edge when he did the force jump. That ship was on the docking bay there, right in the that area. So you did recognize that. Now look, this was Sabine. All these guys are not shooting. This was just driving me
She would be
crazy.
Swiss cheese if they all were shooting her.
They're trying to be polite.
Yeah,
Trying
they're
to
like,
be
okay,
polite.
we'll wait until the other one shoots first.
They really can't hit anything.
Yes,
Yeah, look, they're
So
not they're not even
right.
shooting. They're waiting.
Hey, wait a
They're
minute
waiting
now.
until she gets the
You guys
lightsaber ready.
don't shoot me or anything.
All right.
Indie Comics.
You just can't have fight choreography like this, where you can't keep having our heroes turn their back to four stormtroopers and
No,
Ray
'cause
did
she's
this
got
in
a
that throne room
throne.
scene. So, and it's so slow. The scene is just so slow that it doesn't work. I mean, it's just it's just so bad. Her emotions are so slow. So if they had sped it up, so this was
Yes.
really really fast motion, it wouldn't have been as bad. But I'm watching, it's like a slow motion dance.
Yes.
Yeah.
a-
Everything's
and
slow
she's
motion
putting her
about the show.
back.
Show
Yeah,
is
look.
in slow motion.
So like she's got her back to these guys and they're not shooting. I'm like, shoot.
It's not
You
pulling up
And
the
she's
shoot lady in the
not
back.
even wearing a helmet, so there's
No,
her head right there. Sorry, if that's
Yep.
graphic.
Yeah.
It's right there. Like,
Hey guys, should we shoot? Nah, it's not polite.
Nah.
What's all this
Don't
red
shoot.
crap all over him anyway?
they don't explain it.
No, they
Red
don't.
tape? They're like, is that like,
And they were on this planet for what, 5 years? Can't they clean their stormtrooper armor? Don't they have armor all up there or something?
they have plenty of power on the damn. I mean, they got a fully powered Star Destroyers hanging there.
Yeah.
If it's hanging there in the atmosphere like that, they got the,
Yeah,
what they have to turn off the showers and stuff. You can't have like washing machines and whatever.
they can't clean
cleanup
the
crap.
armor?
No, apparently not. I mean, they figured, look, no one's coming to this planet anyway, so what the hell? Just let ourselves go.
Yeah, was poorly executed.
They had to be pretty bored there for 10 years with nothing to do. Hey, what you want to do tonight? I guess we could just sit here in the barracks like we always do on the Stormtrooper. Nah, come on. Let's go out and shoot some of those turtle people again. Here we go.
No, let's just wrap some more red fabric around ourselves.
For some reason, red tape or
To get
whatever.
wrapped.
It's like tape or something. It's like, is it a metaphor for red tape bureaucracy?
Well,
I don't know.
That would be nice. That would be really smart.
Jesus, they all got it though. It's like, what the hell, man?
Well, at first the theory. So this is where everybody had their theories about what it was. Like it was fabric from the witches, and the witches did some magic to keep them
maybe
going. But they never confirmed it. So
nah, who needs confirmation? Who needs answers?
Yeah, who needs
Yeah,
story confirmation answers? What?
You're supposed to be Star Wars fans. You can't figure it out yourselves. We're gonna do everything for you.
Can't you imagine the story?
Oh my God, man!
These two shots kind of encapsulate, how infuriating things were. And if that was the only time that happened, I mean, this happened throughout the series too, with Ahsoka spinning around all these spin moves. I mean,
I'm gonna get medicine. I'll be right back, Mark.
Sure thing. Yep. So that kind of stuff drives.
I mean, you can
bonkers.
spin if you want to, if it's gonna do something, but this is not. I mean, there you have it. Her back's to her enemy, and they have a clear shot at just about any spot on her body, and yet she still lives.
Yeah, and they've got repeating blasters too. It's not like it's a bolt action blaster or a black powder blaster where it takes 30 seconds to load. And there's no one here that you could say maybe they didn't want to hit their buddy before, but there's
nobody here. Yeah,
there's no one there. I mean, I would really love to play these troopers in Fortnite because I'm not a very good Fortnite player. I have a lot of fun playing with Dadman and Lisa and gang, but it's a pretty sad aim, and that's the other thing I don't like is when they made the ties into making the stormtroopers a joke. I mean, they're supposed to be highly trained forces, and Luke, when they escape the Death Star, of course, they've always got to miss the heroes, but Kenobi is talking about how well trained they are in the first Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah,
and it's and the Sabine, probably Blaster probably want to work on Sabine. She did survive a lightsaber to the gut after all. Yeah,
that's right.
I forgot that
she
too.
Is all powerful and immortal. So her and Ahsoka. There are fans who say that Ahsoka cannot die, like that not because they don't want her to die, obviously, but that she just can't die because every time she's about to die, she's brought into the world between worlds, and so That's a theory out there, so they may be
Interesting.
correct. With Dave Filoni writing her character, absolutely, I think it's true.
Well, he would never. Yeah, he would never
Yeah.
let her character die. That's his, favorite character. I understand you create a character too. You don't want to see
Yeah.
them meet an end, but you've got to put your hero in believable danger and then have them escape that danger. You always want to have that slight sense of doubt. Well, that's why the Game of Thrones was so amazing. Spoiler alert, end of the first season when the main character uh, off with his head. So I remember a friend. It's like, Mark, you've been watching this Game of Thrones show. He's like, it's phenomenal. He's like, I'm like, I'm never gonna watch that. It's probably horrible. It's like, yeah, and they kill off the main character at the end. I'm like, well, thanks a lot. Now you just told me that's the, spoiler warning. I was joking. I wouldn't watch, and then I did watch it. I'm like, oh my god, this is a great season of TV, and they off the main I mean, I guess his character, you could argue, is the main character that first season, Sean Bean. So yeah, it was uh, a kicker. So yeah, so there's different ways you can go about that, and
Mhm.
have characters meet their demise. But when you just have these horrible fight scenes, don't
No,
that's what
this is
you can. It kind of makes you what was the right word to say? You can kind of forgive maybe some of the bad stories if you had some really cool fight scenes, although you
mhm.
shouldn't. But you can say, oh, well, the action sequences are great. You at least got to get the action sequences right. So
Yeah,
that's where I
and
was really let down.
yeah, it is something that it's not believable anymore, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I I think, again, I'm gonna go back to the scene because once I saw that scene, I understood exactly what I was watching. It was, um, Ahsoka floating in space. That was it. That was it. I was like, "Oh, okay. Now I know what this is. I know what this is, and now what I'm looking at." I
Yep.
I no longer
Yeah.
expect, like, fantastic, fight scenes.
No.
Um, Even though we kinda had one with Balin, in episode 4, but I didn't expect anything, you know? Um,
Yeah.
so the bar was decreased at that point. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
this is inexcusable, like, you she's dead. She's dead, 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 dead. She's dead.
She's all dead. She's not mostly dead. She should be all dead. Yeah. Or unless you had her with her Mandalorian armor. And she should be wearing a helmet here too. I guess
Yes.
the bad guy pulled her helmet off. She should go and get her helmet, and then she's wearing very light Mandalorian armor. And they did have the armor hit her shoulder plates. They never hit her arms or anything that was unarmored. But
It's
at
like
least if
there's
she
a
had,
nice juicy head right there.
yeah,
Aim,
pew
boys,
pew
aim.
pew, yeah, right,
It's squishy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just really like weird that that no one caught this on, not even like, hey, while they were choreographing all of this, like trying to figure this out. Like, oh, okay, we're just gonna have our troopers just stand there.
yeah.
Yep.
A
The
better
other piece
choreographer would
that,
catch that.
yeah, I mean, and the other piece that is kind of weird about this whole scene. There's a scene where she blocks, um, like she's able to block the blasters with her gauntlet, and I was like, that's definitely like a Wonder Woman move. Um, but she doesn't have that fast reflexes to do that. I mean, like, what, you have to be a superhuman to be able to be that fast.
Well, I guess that's what they're
To
doing to her. They're giving her that
Yeah.
Yeah,
power now as
yeah,
a quote unquote Jedi Mandalorian. She's going to be unstoppable. I mean, because the Mandalorians were Jedi killers, right? So,
yeah.
and that's where I don't. They didn't have to go that
Mandalorians
direction.
were formidable against your uh, Jedi. So I don't even know why she wants to be
Right?
Jedi when she can just be a Mandalorian. They're fierce.
Yeah, just and it's just trying to, give everyone superpowers basically. So,
Yeah.
and the next season, the turtle snail creatures are gonna all have force powers, and wow, they're gonna wreak havoc
Mhm.
on Shin and Balin and all the other
Huh.
bad guys on that planet, right?
Oh man, they'll
Yeah,
be able to speak English by then. So,
I hope
Man.
so. Yeah, yeah. But here, I'll take this off because that was depressing watching
guys, I saw
watching
this
that.
really cool video today. Though it was it was somebody who made a retro intro. Remember how they used to be those intros to every show that came out in like the 70s and 80s.
Hmm.
So somebody made a really cool show intro for Ahsoka, and it's hilarious. It is super super funny.
Yeah, like where they show the main character. They always have like the splash scene, and then
Yes,
main
yes,
character.
yes.
I mean, his face pops up on played by so and so, and then
Yeah, and it was funny because they just ragged on the show. It was uh funny. But um, it's I was gonna see if I could share it with you guys, but um, let's see. It's I'll look for it and see if I can share it with
okay,
you
yeah.
Oh, is that nightmare over yet?
guys.
Someone
Well, you,
asked.
you you could be stuck in the veil of the forest, though.
Oh God, I felt like I was for 4 hours there. You had to. I mean, man, good.
You
Good.
could
I
have.
hope you got that out of your system.
Yeah, I think I did. Thank
I'm
you
the only
for
dumbass
indulging
on
me.
YouTube that did not announce that I'm going to be talking about Ahsoka. I could have got clicks, I guess, but I just didn't want to. But I'm the only one, and everybody's talked about it ad infinitum all day, and all since it started. Ew. And then you had to come along and make it like 4 hours.
Yes, I did.
Engineer.
Yeah. I had to
Here,
do a
I'm just
I'll,
kidding.
slide. I
I'm
had to
just
do a
kidding with you.
slideshow, Mark. I know you are, but yeah.
Well, I'm no, actually, am. It did get annoying after a while. Like, God, could it please stop? Please stop the pain.
I just
Indie Key Comics. What's that? Oh, what's that a link to there?
that's the video that I saw earlier. It's like a few minutes. So I just gave it to you guys in the private.
Okay. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Did Loki season 2 start today?
Starts soon, doesn't it?
Thursday today. Yes, it did.
Well, that would be today. Oh, it did.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did. Yeah.
Oh my God, no! Now I gotta watch that. Ugh, good Lord! I didn't know that had dropped.
I thought you were
Already.
going to rewatch Strange New Worlds instead.
Strangled New Worms. Look, I sat through that crap. Okay. Okay. Don't give me
I
any
can't
grief.
do it. Yeah, I can't watch Star Trek anymore. So I probably the way most people feel about Star Wars is how I feel about Star Trek,
Oh,
the new
yeah.
Star Trek stuff, because I can't
Oh,
I can't
believe
even
me.
watch any of it.
I don't blame you. I'm exactly well. I sat through P Hard like an idiot, but then I sat through Strangled New Worms because it's more connected. See, those shows are more connected to real Trek, so I watch them to criticize him because Mark wants to watch him.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
he sat through all
I
of
made you
STD
watch
that I
it.
couldn't do. So it's to the point where I think that musical episode I'll watch it all the way through. Just couldn't do it. So
Oh,
I
God.
don't know. I got I've sat through that garbage, and at least it's gone for a while now. They'll bring it back like next year or something. At least it's
We'll be
gone
back,
for a
though.
while. And I don't know if I could take another season of Loki, but again, let's see here. It's not as bad as I like Tom Hiddleston. Okay, all right. It's not as bad as let's see. I got my rating. I ranked all the Marvel movies and TV shows. Retro.
Did you do
Mhm.
the
And
TV shows separate?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I did them separate, and so I have them. Where are those things? Because I got to admit, I didn't hate Loki the most by any stretch. Because I mean, I didn't think it was the worst or anything.
Mhm.
Let's see, but where's that? I'm watching. Still, where are you? Never where I can find it. Anyway, so Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's the worst of the shows, but man, can I sit through another? I guess I can sit through another season. Look, I sat through Ahsoka. What am I talking about? I can watch it. I sat through Obi-Wan Kenobi's the one I hate the most, by the way.
What?
Star Wars. Yeah, that's the one I hated the most. You liked it?
Well, see, okay, I'm gonna say it. Like, it was bad, but I enjoyed it.
That's the one that made me angry. See, Ahsoka doesn't make me angry. I just got bored.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mandalorian, I like the first 2 seasons kind of okay. I third season was terrible. Doesn't make me mad. But Boba Fett was bad. It just didn't make me angry. This dumps Obi-Wan Kenobi dumps all over the first movie. 77.
Vader should have never met.
They should never have met.
Yeah.
It dumps all over real Star Wars in a horrific way, and I hate it. That truly makes my blood boil. Whereas the other ones, I'm like, whatever. I mean, it's not that big of a deal other than the time you lose now. But so yeah, what happened?
Hello?
No, I hit a button.
Oh, you hit a button? Oh, you muted yourself?
No,
I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
I jumped onto a different window. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. But you can always blame me first. That always works. Yeah.
Well, it is always your fault. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yes. Yeah, it always is my fault. Yeah. I'm like, oh no. Did I click? That's one of my nightmare things is like, I guess if you click, close the window for the stream, I guess the stream would still keep going though, right? Yeah. If you close the,
Loki's middle of the pack. I got Loki at number 10 with 1 star.
Okay.
So that's not bad considering there are at least 6 shows worse than that. I don't know.
Which one was your favorite show?
Actually, I might bump Loki up a little higher than a couple of the ones that I had. Oh no, yes. Oh hell no. I got it might actually need to be higher because 2 of the shows I got above it, I think are worse. I changed that sometime. Oh, a lot of the shows I think are worse. Matter of fact, Loki might move up to like number 6 or 7.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Now I'm counting the Netflix shows and the stupid Disney shows. The only one I didn't watch, the only Disney show I didn't watch was Miss Marvel, and only because the character has no interest for me. Of course, the bottom of the barrel is She-Hulk at 16. There's 16 shows.
Oh wow, that was horrible, and I was pissed. I was pissed after She-Hulk because they wasted my time.
Yes, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Now,
horrible.
What if I got at 15 because it's an incomplete? I only watched the first 5 and hated them so much I couldn't go anymore. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I got at number 14 because I hate it so much because these are characters I really like and they ruined them with a horrible show.
Oh gosh.
Agents of Schmuck, I got kind of pretty low just because only because it's incomplete because I couldn't watch it all. Not because it's bad. It wasn't good, but Moon Knight.
I almost got through that, yeah.
Moon Knight is horrible. That's at number 12. Inhumans at 11, because it's tough to pick which is worse between those 2. And I got Loki at 10. Is it worse than these other ones? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about it. Maybe I should change that.
You got to tell me. I'm going to write this down because I need to make sure I've seen all of these. What's your top 10?
Okay, the top 10, of course, we'll go from 1, I guess. Daredevil Netflix show is the best of them. I mean, it's the only great one. Really.
I've never seen that.
Oh, my.
That's a gooder.
That's, to me, the Daredevil show is one of the best live action anything of any comic book character. And again, I even though it adapts certain things that I love, but it's hard to explain. I love it.
Rosario Dawson is the night nurse, right?
Yeah, she is on there.
Oh, okay.
She's on it a little bit. The first 2 seasons I love. I have some issues with the 3rd season, but it's good. It's going to be good stuff there. Okay. It's my favorite of the TV shows, bar none. And this is when the Netflix shows were counting in the MCU for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And at number 2, this is live action TV stuff. The Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. I really like that one. Did you see that?
Oh.
You ever see that one?
No, I didn't see it yet.
That's great
I
too.
Yeah. And number 3, I got Werewolf by Night. That's the
yes. Okay. Yes. That's some of my favorite stuff there.
That I really enjoyed that. And you know what? 3 on down are shows I don't like that much. That's the only thing. I mean, as far as these shows, I don't hate them. like I got 3. I got Defenders only because Daredevil's in it. It's not a very good show. It's got a little bit of Power Man and Iron Fist. At 4, I got The Punisher, and it wasn't very good because I don't even like The Punisher. At 5, I got Luke Cage. Love the guy playing him. He's great. The 2 shows, and he was great on Defenders. And he's just the stories weren't that good. And now I think I'm insane. I'm going to switch Loki. I don't know. Loki needs to be back pretty far too. But WandaVision I had at number 6, and I actually hate it. I decided I hate it more because of what
Really?
it did. I liked the first few episodes, and then it got really angered me. So I had it at 6. It probably needs to drop back to like 9 or something.
It started off strong. It was really doing
Yeah.
something unique. And then I don't know when it was, like when they started introducing Agatha, like they lost concentration.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Agreed.
It was almost. I think that show got affected by the vid. So I think
Really?
that I think what I've read,
Yeah.
that you could like those first 4 episodes were before and after, and everything got messed up, and they couldn't have the the actors together, and so I think that didn't help that show, unfortunately, too. If I want to give them a little bit of an excuse, but
Yeah. I mean, I love the concept of all the different TV shows that they were mimicking, and yeah, it did. Once they got Agatha as sort of like the main bad guy, that's when things just seemed to fall off. Um, it just felt like it was a completely different story at that point.
yeah,
It was bad. It got the last couple episodes were bad, but what I hated the most was the very last one when basically she gets away with torturing a whole town full of people. The dude who was trying to stop her gets arrested, and what's her name? Monica Rambeau says they'll never know what you sacrificed for them. Are you what? Are you clinically insane?
Yeah.
What do you mean? She tortured an entire town of people.
yep.
Why are you
Yeah.
letting her? Oh, it sucks. It's so horrific. It's a garbage. And RRTZ says we're insane. Punisher season 1 was fantastic. I did not think it was fantastic. It was too much wonking around him. I mean, I'm not a big Punisher fan, granted. You got to understand that first off. Second season, I thought was a little bit better. It was.
I love the second season. I love the second season
okay.
of Punisher.
You-
I thought the
but-
first season was good, and the second season got that scene in the bathroom, that opening scene, and that second season was
That was good. I
showed
mean,
you
I
how
like the
kick-ass
second
the
season.
Punisher was. Yeah,
He didn't do a lot of kick ass in the first season though. It was all
the
right.
second season was
But
more.
there was a lot of
kick-ass.
lag time in the second. I mean, the first season where you got a bunch of anti-gun crap and stuff. But anyway, then WandaVision I should have lower because it sucks. Jessica Jones sucks.
I love Jessica Jones. Oh, I love that show.
Oh God, I like the first.
Jessica.
Damn.
First season. The first season was okay with David Tennant. That was really mostly pretty good. I'll admit it. But season 2 is horrific, and I couldn't even get all the way through season 3.
Yeah, I didn't
they
even
didn't-
walk through that door.
They didn't do Hellcat
you're lucky.
any.
Although David Tennant is great in that first season.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I should have had this lower, but Hawkeye is a piece of garbage.
Oh, God.
What a
Well, he's still stuck in the Christmas tree.
yeah. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but
Oh,
got-
Hawkeye. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
did you see Hawkeye?
No. It looked terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I like him okay, but he's not really comic book Hawkeye anyway.
Yeah.
But I like him okay. I just don't. I don't know. He just, and even Kate Bishop was kind of okay in it. It's just that it had really a lot of horrible crap like Echo. What they did to Kingpin in there was a joke. It's horrible. Let's see. But I'll say this first season of Jessica Jones with David Tennant is pretty damn good. But after that, I don't know. But see, there's also let's see. All right, then I got Loki at 10. Maybe I should move it up higher than some of these other ones, but not much because Loki is still emasculated idiot. It was horrible through the thing, and there's a whole scene, the symbolic of the MCU, where what's her face kicks him in the nuts like for 40 times over through a time loop, which says it all about Disney Marvel. It was just absolutely, and I hated female Loki. It should have been a different character from the comic, not that she looked reminded me too much of Dr. 13, if you know what I mean. Jodie Whittaker.
Mm.
So again, I did like the second to last episode when they went to the Loki planet. I thought that was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that was fun. Alligator Loki
I-
and all the old Loki. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I actually like the story. I mean, as far as them writing a story, they wrote one. You know, it wasn't when just like comparing what we just saw to that one is like night and day. Um, but
Yeah.
the thing with Loki in particular, female Loki, I was having a problem with connecting with her because I mean I'm a weirdo like this, but I was expecting her to look more like Loki with like the dark hair and everything.
Okay, yeah.
For the comics, they did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because in
yeah,
the comics, Odin turns Loki into a woman for punishment. Do not strike me down for saying that, but
That was in the
that's
comic. Yeah.
actually what he says in the comic. He's punishing
Sexist
Loki.
bastard.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then he's getting it on with himself, maybe, or I guess I don't know.
yeah. They are. Well,
Yeah.
I think they pulled away from that. Well, no, they didn't because she kisses him at the
Right.
end. It's like weird. It is a weird one. Which I don't mind. They could do whatever they want with it, but and they do give you like a good cause for them to um to to actually fall in love with each other. But it's just still weird. It's
Fall in
still
love with
weird.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Still weird. But hey, it was I enjoyed it, but I could see how it could be not too that great for other people. Yeah, there's a lot of shows on Disney Plus that I just haven't been interested to see. And when you have one of the shows that I really, you know, you guys mentioned, She-Hulk was just really traumatizing for me because I was like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be fun. And I watched it and I was like still waiting every episode for something to happen because they were setting some things up and I was like, okay, so this is going to lead to something here. I was waiting. And then the last episode, they said, no, that we're not completing the story because we've written ourselves into a corner. And now we're going to look at you and we're going to we're going to talk to you and we're not going to actually give you a story. So it was really it was another unsatisfying story where you get all the setup but you get none of the payoff for having stuck in with the story for every single episode. I mean, as a viewer you should feel rewarded by the end of this kind of experience.
Yep. Yeah, Prince. Let's see. RR. I'm sorry. Just I don't agree with you about the Punisher season 1. I mean, I didn't hate it. It's better than a lot of stuff. There was some good stuff in it. I didn't mind certain elements. I just thought it kind of got bogged down a little bit. But again, remember, I caveated you saying that I don't really like the Punisher. I thought he was great in season 2 of Daredevil. That was the best he would ever be to me. And I thought the second season he was a little bit more like they did that kind of a take on Assault on Precinct 13. Then he was chasing around that other dude. Of course, I didn't like all that stuff with Jigsaw, really. But I'm not a Punisher fan. It's the way it's Punisher. It's a ripoff of Mac Bolan. When I don't really care about a character like Punisher being in the Marvel universe anyway. So they don't really, as the Tick said, guns and superheroes don't mix. But it was okay. Let me tell you, I'll say this: that the Punisher was better than a lot of those other shows. And but here now we're at the bottom of the barrel after the Loki. And again, I'm going to move Loki up a little bit, but although I hate the way they treated the Infinity Stones and some of the stuff with the Time Agency. But here we go. Inhumans was such a piece of dog crap.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I know Mark's seen it, but Inhumans was such drivel. So it might be, it's close to the worst, but I got it like a little bit above She-Bulk and well, the next one I'm going to say. So Inhumans was trash, in my opinion. Total garbage. Moon Knight was worse, if you could believe it. How do you think it'd be worse? I don't know, but it was.
Moon Knight wasn't even in Moon Knight.
Yeah.
That was
Moon Knight wasn't even in Moon
think
Knight.
about it. Yeah, it was just
terrible.
so bad. Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier to me is even worse than both of them because those are two characters that really could have been so good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wonky Inhumans is a good shout though. It's a Black Bolt shouting. I get it. I hope that's the joke you're making. That show was putrid drivel. I got Iron Fist below Inhumans, but not by much. Iron Fist is so bad. I remember kept forgetting to put it on the list. I kept forgetting about it.
Well, I'm glad I didn't see any of those.
Woo, is it horrific, man? It is. It's an abomination.
Well, but you have the Inhumans worse than that, though, right?
What?
You have that worse than the Inhumans?
Yeah, but it's close. I think I've got Iron Fist.
Inhumans is totally unwatchable. I mean, at least I can watch some.
Yeah,
some
Iron Fist has some okay stuff in it with him in that second season.
Colleen Wing,
but then it got worse.
Yeah.
So Inhumans was better than Iron Fist, as Fiona. I think I disagree, Fiona. I think Inhumans is worse because Iron Fist. At least there was action and things going on. They had like $3 to spend on Inhumans, and they showed it.
Wow.
You have one of your main characters is Medusa with superpowered hair. And what do? They cut her hair, a beautiful, gorgeous redhead. They cut her hair off in the first episode.
Yep.
So
no, I think the one of the reasons why they probably didn't. I saw like a few clips of that. It was really bad CGI that they were doing.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Here's why it's worse. It was supposed to be a movie, then they decided not to make a movie. Then don't make it at all because the Inhumans are big budget stuff. They're characters that call for very big time special effects, or even in CG or what have you. And if you don't have the budget, because it was made on the ABC, it was made for the ABC TV show, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like just don't bother.
Yeah.
The fact that you made it makes it worse than anything else. It's you idiots. But look,
it was so bad, and they did try to make a movie out of it. They had it in IMAX. I can only imagine the people there that were just so upset that went to see the first 2 episodes in IMAX. And what they did to Karnak, and then they had him as a drug pusher, or he was in it. He was working with it was just horrendous how bad it was and what they did to the characters. And quote unquote Captain Pike is Black Bolt. At least Anson Mount has a good presence, but there's really not much you can do to save a show like that with such bad writing. Lockjaw looked good. Lockjaw, a couple. If
they spent all the money on Lockjaw.
Watch a clip of Lockjaw for 30 seconds and then go home. Yeah, they
spent all the money on Lockjaw. This is an absolutely brilliant question, but I salute you. You come up with the best questions because this is interesting. 2 Kirby creations. What he says, Clobby, which is worse to the Marvel characters? Inhumans or the Eternals? Whoo, Eternals is bad. For me, it has to be Eternals. I think I may have to agree with you, but it's close. Where a super unqualified director didn't understand the characters and ruined them. Well, I'll tell you like this. I almost have to vacillate a little bit because on the one hand, you have the Eternals, which aren't really, they weren't very well known. The Inhumans aren't like super well known either, but compared to the Eternals, they're practically the X-Men. I mean, at least the Inhumans have a lot more exposure as a supergroup. You have on the one hand a horrible, incompetent director who doesn't understand the characters, doesn't understand the source material in the lady, whatever that lady's name was that directed the Eternals. And then you have the Inhumans, which the people directing it, I don't know what they knew or didn't know, but they didn't have a budget. I mean, they had none. They're expected. It would be like saying, okay, I want you to make this Superman movie, but we can't afford to make him fly or anything. Well, how about like on the old George Reeves show, we'll make him lay on a board and we'll let them, we'll make music like he's flying or whatever. So I don't know. It's tough to, I can't, like Fiona says, it's almost not worth arguing which is worse. They're both horrific. So I can't, I'm going to have to just I'm gonna have to disappoint you and not give you a ruling because the Inhumans are a little bit more popular. So they wasted more money on the Eternals. So you know what? It is both of them are Jack Kirby creations. I'm gonna go with Eternals because that got more exposure on big screens and wasted more money. So I'll buy it by a hair, just a tiny little sliver. I'll go Eternals. I'll make a decision for you right there. Boom.
Yeah, because that was a high-profile movie that was supposed to be a big blockbuster.
5 minutes,
and you can still buy the action figures. Every time I go to the store, there's loads of Eternals action figures and Legos, and that's gonna fill up. And whenever some of the bargains.
Oh God, yeah, they're still there.
They don't. Every time I go, there's racks of them. It's like no one's buying these.
Nobody wants to buy that.
No one wants because if you don't like the movie, and you don't. And the saving grace of it was it doesn't even resemble Kirby's work in any way. I mean, maybe the Celestial a little bit,
tiny bit, not even that really.
Well, I do know that there's a Celestial that's still sticking up in the middle of the ocean that none of the films have even addressed.
Yeah,
right.
They won't either. I didn't. I missed the super chat, Mark. How did you make me miss this?
Ooh. How did I make you do that?
I don't know how Mark made me miss this. I apologize. I didn't see the super chat. I'm terribly sorry, but it's Mark's fault for some reason. He said, unless I forgot I read it. Did I read this or no?
I don't think so. No, because it's got a word in there you might want to say, but that's a minor word. But yeah.
He says Loki is the worst of all D+ shows. It takes a huge steaming shitey on the Infinity Saga, making it all irrelevant and meaningless in just one ep. Okie dokie, but I'm sorry I missed that. But like I said, I don't have it. I don't have it as my worst, but I'm not going to argue with that because I mean it could have been. I like Tom Hiddleston. It's a shame he got kind of stuck with that. But let's see here. Oh, so yeah, I mean the rest of them are just kind of. It's funny I put Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just because I didn't watch them all. Put it as an incomplete and What If because it's incomplete, which I hated. And then I put at the bottom of the barrel She-Hulk. So there's
where 16... did you put Secret Invasion?
Oh yes, I forgot that one, didn't I? I didn't update my list. Thank you. Secret Invasion, I would put at right behind. Yeah, I might actually put it just above She-Hulk, like a number.
You know what? I wouldn't. I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's the bottom of the barrel.
Slightly better than She-Hulk.
I might put it
saying much.
Yes, I might put it slightly above Falcon and Winter Soldier, only because that one hit me the most because I like those characters and they could have. What they did in that thing was a disgrace. But Secret Invasion is probably worse though. Yeah. I forgot. Thank you for mentioning that.
It's horrendous, and nothing happens in it. It's boring. I didn't even finish watching it.
Well, I covered it in like the first 3 episodes. Felt like it was leading somewhere interesting. Except for them killing off a major character, it was just like, well, that wasn't needed, and they just it just was a huge disappointment. Let's just say that very big disappointment.
Why wasn't she wearing body armor when they're going into a fight, and she gets just shot by a regular pistol, and she's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
She did not have the Sabine superpowers protecting her.
Good answer, Retro.
She's not their favorite character.
Good answer.
Expendable, and that's really sad because I thought they could have done something with that character. They
His Mother's is good.
Yeah, and she's another thing is that this is why I like the first couple of episodes. There were no like super powered things going on in a big way. They kept it very grounded, and it felt like it was just dealing more with relationships between people and then they just went to the off the deep end, and it was let's combine all the powers of all the superheroes of all the people that we've ever
Yeah.
seen before, and it's just like, oh my god, what this is a hot mess by the end, where you have this girl character suddenly has a huge arm, Drax's huge arm on her body that they've
Shit.
done CGI.
Super scroll powers.
I didn't even watch, but now wouldn't she be the most powerful character,
She
the
is,
mother of
yes,
dragons
She
in
is
the
now.
Marvel universe then, right? I mean, you
yeah,
would
she
have
is
to be, right?
the
She is
most
now. Yeah.
powerful. She's got
Absolutely.
everybody's powers because somehow these superpowered people were able to spill all their blood all over the place.
Right?
During various wars and battles over the years. I thought it was really funny at one point, and I was just like, wow, this is really bad. This is really bad. So
Yes,
I never
Minimus.
finished watching it. Yeah.
Yes, Minimus. Mark did watch Hellstrom for some reason. Amelia
I
Clark
watched it for
Squirrel
clubbing.
Piss.
Yeah.
I like that name. Don't make fun of my arm. Amelia Clark Squirrel Piss.
I won't make fun of your arm.
I heard Hellstrom was really bad. You were telling me.
Oh, it was so bad. It was just so bad, and I don't know why I kept watching it, but just like maybe it'll get better. And there's a reason it was regulated to Hulu, and then they're pulling a lot of these shows off because I guess it costs them more money to keep these shows, even streaming, even though they're in the can. Or I guess maybe they don't have to pay the actors anything. Unfortunately, I never want to blame the actors, but yeah, it's that it was nothing related to the comics. It was no, but they just tried to go for like an X-Files type horror, and they totally missed the boat.
He wasn't son of Satan. He was son of a serial killer, right? According to
Yeah, and then they tried to tie it in later, and yeah, it just I've kind of wiped it from my memory now. I just remember it was not good, and the other thing is too when when things divide fans or critics, but when people unanimously say something's bad, when 80% of the people can agree on something, then or more, then yeah, you can trust that. When people, some people like Loki the first season, didn't like it. It's and Secret Invasion, even the quote unquote, more Disney friendly media, even they were panning the show by the end too, because just were, and I haven't finished watching the last episode. I don't know if I ever will, probably not.
you shouldn't.
But it ended up being at least like the Marvel Girl or Ms. Marvel series was fun in moments, lighthearted fun, and yeah, it's a
Oh yeah,
movie for young kids, and the actress really loves playing that character, and she grew up loving the character. It's not my favorite character, obviously, and only bought a few of the comics. But at least you can tell she's really gung ho about playing that role. I mean, Secret Invasion, when you're watching Nick Fury walk around, God, I'd much rather have David Hasselhoff in that role at that point. Give me some energy. I mean,
mhm.
Samuel L. Jackson, it's just there's no life or energy in that role. And from what I saw, and it was just then you've got to pull the superheroes in eventually. I mean, the whole cool thing about uh, uh, Secret Invasion was that you had all the characters impersonating superheroes. So you
Yeah,
just get those two characters in the end, but with all the powers. But that's what was wild about it, or you find out, if you're FF fan, uh, you find out that Alicia's actually a scroll that married Johnny called Elijah, Laser Fist. Um, but yeah, it's just a mess, just a mess, unfortunately.
the last episode really was the biggest nail in the coffin, really.
That bad, yeah.
It was really terrible to the point where the president does something that's so ridiculous, and then you have people just killing individuals out of nowhere because they think they're Skrulls. So it's a giant mess that somehow they have to fix. They're thinking that they're going to. This is the last scene too. The last couple of scenes is that you see this incredible turmoil. And I'm like, that's not how you end a show like this.
No, yeah,
You gotta. There's no sense of satisfaction by the end of watching it. So
yeah.
Um,
That's a shame. Yeah.
no, Doc Fortune. I did not watch The Gifted. I didn't watch. I didn't watch many of the only Marvel shows I watched are the ones I mentioned. But those other ones, like Hellstrom and Cloak and Dagger and Legion, I did not watch.
I
Anyway,
did watch
let's see.
Runaways. I did watch Cloak and Dagger, and I did watch Legion.
Somebody
I
had
think I've
to.
watched them all. Yeah.
You watch everything.
Runaways wasn't that bad. There was some fun. It's geared towards younger kids, but Runaways had some fun bits to it. Cloak and Dagger, total miss. No chemistry between the two actors. Dark, depressing. Not good. Not good. They had a crossover with the Runaways. Sorry, I'm vamping, but and Legion's good. First two.
Sean Carter, what's up, buddy? I heard the second season went wokety drivelly, but I don't care. I never watched it. Only one thing gets to go on Legion, that's superheroes. Anything else, it's ripping. They should not be allowed.
Legion was kind of like an X-Files show, basically. It was interesting, but you got to take it for what it is. But it was a well-written, well-acted show, and not for everyone. It's very quirky, but I did enjoy it.
Hey, Crease, let's start making our way out of here. Let's answer a few more though. Oh, Wagner, yeah, we already answered that one. Club, what did you think of Neil Gaiman's Eternals? I had a brief Twitter conversation with him about it. I liked it. The visuals were meant to at least honor Kirby. What little I could stomach of it, I did not like. And, John Romita Jr. is not to everyone's taste. I mean, I don't know if it was dishonoring Kirby or anything, but it certainly wasn't really connected anywhere. Didn't do anything for me, but I'm glad you liked it. Again, I just actually that movie followed more of that than it did real Eternals. So, well. Who is ready to what?
Well, I just have one. I know you're going to close down, but I just wanted to say that if anyone wants to buy can't save this for Saturday Night Star Trek, or we can show it. But if anyone wants Nichelle Nichols' phaser from Star Trek, it's on auction right now. So I'll just show this because it ends in 12 hours. So if anyone wants to bid, this is some enabling. But you have to have $40,000 or $45,000 for the next bid. There's a really cool YouTube video on this explaining the history of the phaser, and it's her personal phaser, and the family is obviously selling it now at auction, and it's they verified it's actually one of the surviving phasers from the show. There's a Velcro there, which is very cool to attach it to the belt, and it's on auction right now, and it ends in 12 hours, and I think it's up to $45,000. So I put that link in there. There's a lot of cool prop auctions going on, other Star Trek things, but I just wanted to show that. And we love Nichelle Nichols, so that's a cool bit of Star Trek history.
Well, let's see here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us tonight, and especially, of course, our wonderful guest, Retro Nerd Girl. Retro, it's been so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate you inviting me. And like I said last week, I was really just jumping up and down and rushing to get here because I do enjoy hanging out with you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
it was great having you.
Awesome.
Let's see what Turin's machine is. That's good. By the way, Clobby Paul Chatter loves The Prisoner. Yes, he does. He said he mentioned on Midnight Edge that he started to rewatch it again. You should invite him over if you guys decide to review. We'll be reviewing it soon enough. And yes, he does say, be seeing you at the end of all his videos, of course, which I love The Prisoner. He may even know almost as much about it as I do, but let's not get crazy.
I think you know the most.
I like Patchett. I'm a fan of Paul Chatter. He's great. He doesn't know me, but I've been on some panels with him, and it's been very nice. So, anyway, so Fiona, hi Fiona. Sorry, I meant see, ladies, and I just take ladies. Retro Nerd Girl. tell us what you got going on your. Tell us about your channel. We'll get the link in there and what you got going on.
Sure. I review a lot of old movies. Just love the old movies, and I do live streams Wednesday mornings, which I do a morning modern morning take on something modern. I'll be definitely looking at the Loki series in the next coming weeks, and then on Fridays I usually do a retro discussion, and so this week, now it'll be tomorrow, I'll be talking about best animated movies from 1990 to the present day. And then on Saturday, I will be doing a watch party, and I will be watching The Mummy 1999.
Is that the
Excellent.
Tom Cruise one? I'm trying to remember.
No.
No.
What
Just
is wrong
trying to
with
get
you?
just trying to get Clobby going.
What is wrong with you?
Oh my goodness, I still have yet to see that one.
I
No,
will
this is
forever be yet to see that one.
no.
Agonizer, please.
Yeah, watching the one with Brendan Fraser, and yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun because I do love that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, excellent. Well, that's
Much
excellent.
better than what I just said. Yeah, don't listen to
Well,
me. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I do like that movie. That was a cool movie for sure.
Yeah,
So,
it was a surprise because I was expecting them to fumble this one, but they came through with the
will surprise a lot of us. Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and the second one wasn't even bad either.
Oh yeah, I like the second one, and I do call it my guilty pleasure, but I do enjoy the Scorpion King quite a bit. It's hilariously bad and good at the same time.
There
Oh
you
yeah.
go. Oh
It's
yeah,
a guilty pleasure.
there you go.
Isn't the CGI in that? Was that The Rock? Isn't the CGI horrendous
Yes,
in
it's
that
The
one?
Rock. Yeah.
Well, the CGI they used for the third movie.
Okay.
Yeah, the third Mummy is where
I
they
just
used the
remember some really bad. Or in the
or was it
Scorpion
the
King.
so the second was it the second or the third movie? Somebody probably knows, but
Yeah.
yeah, they used it for a small part in the Mummy, and then the Scorpion King was the offshoot of that.
Offshoot. Yeah, yeah. And I just remember some atrocious CGI in that
Oh,
one.
horrible, yeah.
Memory serves. Yeah.
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 Yep, I remember. So, Mark D with a C, Chief Engineer.
Oh,
thanks,
yeah.
Thanks for everything tonight. And any more closing words?
Sure. So, well, always want to thank my Patreons. So, Shooter, Brian Hepburn, Rob Baltus, and Larry. Very much appreciated for supporting my channel on Patreon. Of course, I got my memberships back too, which is awesome. So, again, shout out to all my members, and got to make another clip. I was able to show that before, so I got to work that up again as a thank you clip. End credits. And my Doomsday Machine is for sale now. So I've mentioned that before, but I'll put the Etsy link in. Oh, great to see you, Canadian Spider-Man.
Yep. Canadian.
So if anyone needs a Doomsday Machine, I'm not responsible for destruction across the galaxy, but if you like one, that's where you can get one now. So I've got 2 different sizes available and different paint schemes. So, but yeah, it's been a great time hanging out with Retro Nerd Girl. The chat was awesome tonight. Ahsoka maybe wasn't so awesome, but we had a lot of fun, and it's great to see everyone. And yeah, we're looking forward to Raquel being back because we miss her too. So, but Retro Nerd Girl was a fantastic guest to have these past 2 weeks, and it was really awesome.
Absolutely.
To get to hang out with you. And always check out Retro Nerd Girl's channel. A lot of times I'm lurking because I can't if I start chatting with people, then I'm like, oh no, I gotta, not that I want to say it, but like you're doing work or something, or like you can't,
Yeah.
you're like, oh no, I just opened that can of worms. Not that it's a bad thing. Silent Running, you just did that, so everyone check that out. What did you I didn't get the chance to watch the watch party yet, but what did you think of Silent Running?
I loved it. It's so good. It's it's really like set in the same world of maybe like Outland, and you could even like put it with like Blade Runner. You could put it with Alien. It's like it's got that, feeling like Earth
The
isn't as
vibe.
cool, is having some trouble. Like you could even toss it in the world with Soylent Green. It's like there's an
Yeah, for
environmental
sure. Yeah.
commentary there, and it's just it definitely like I don't know. I'm definitely loving that movie. I have to watch it a few more times, but it just was incredible. It was so incredible. It was more of a character study too of anything else, that we really got to learn about the main guy. I forgot his name, but how he is so in love with working with plants, and the idea of reforesting the planet Earth, that he is willing to do almost anything to achieve that, even doing like the worst things possible. And so it was great to have this character that was not an angel, but also he you could understand where he was coming from. You could
Yep.
understand his mind was taking him to those dark places. You understood, why he was doing the things that he was doing, and it was just surprising how far he would go. He was willing to go
Yeah.
to save his precious little forest that he created. So yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much.
That was a great movie. A great ending too. So and
Yeah.
the Huey, Dewey, and Louie are fantastic too. They're great. And
Yeah.
then you had some the actors playing those people were amazing too. They had did some great work to bring those robots to life. And of course, it's Douglas Trumbull, who's famous for working on
Yeah.
2001. So if anyone hasn't seen that, grab that movie and go watch the watch party at Retro Nerd
Oh,
Girls channel.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it is definitely a sci-fi classic, um, and it looks great too. It looks very everything was practical. They were in a practical space. They were
Yep.
in a, re- a aircraft carrier, I believe, or I'm not sure exactly what it was, but it was some sort of military um, thing that they were decommissioning, and
Okay.
Fort Valley Forge or something. Does this sound familiar to you guys?
Yeah, well, the ship one
Valley
of the
Forge?
ships is the Valley Forge. That's the ship is, Valley Forge, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Valley Forge. And they use a practical location and try to build around it where it looked like a real spaceship, like it wasn't computer generated,
Yeah,
and it
the
wasn't
biodome,
like,
right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it wasn't just like one room that they decked out. It was a huge ordeal. And it is fascinating to me to see like that kind of like dressing, because you don't see that anymore for set dressings these days, I guess.
Yeah.
And also the miniatures that they use, the matte paintings, you could see all those things, um, all of the old techniques that they don't use anymore. It still looked really great.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie that makes you think too, so the ending is
Yeah,
very poignant too. So, oh,
yeah.
I'm interrupting because we got, Jill has just,
I
made
noticed
a
that. I was about to yell that out
oh, you
eventually.
get that showed up? Oh, that did show up for you?
But no, I didn't see that. I was going to say hello to hey Jill, and hello Scotty, and hello Rob Altus. Welcome.
Jill donated 5, Clobber Times memberships.
Oh, thank you, Jill.
Oh, cool.
Appreciate that. Very nice of you. Too
Oh,
kind.
yes. Oh, there she is. Hi, Jill.
Hey, Jill. Thank you, Jill. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I think Dark Star fits in the world with silent running. So,
Yeah.
anything else, Mark?
Oh, Sunday Night Geekery is what you already meant. Yeah, so we'll all looking forward to seeing everyone for Sunday Night Geekery and maybe a little foodery, but we'll see.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Don't even know where I was now. What's I doing? Shout outs. All right. Tomorrow night, everybody, I will be over at the Great J-Man's channel with Sean and J-Man and myself reviewing, as we do every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jack Kirby's Fourth World. 3 more issues of that, all in order and chronologically, that is, in the proper order. So we're having a great time doing that. I don't know how long. It'll probably be a good long while before we get through those. And after that, we'll do some other great Kirbiness. And then, of course, I should be hanging out with Nick Weiser and the gang at 8:30 Central Standard Time, Friday night Comic Shop Talk. That's always a lot of fun with those guys over there. And Saturday night Star Trek. This will be one more episode without our wonderful first officer, Raquel. Love you, Raquel. Miss you very much. But she will not be here, but we will have some fun. I think Mark's going to be here. I don't know. I think you are.
Should be there. Yep.
Okay.
We got should be there. I'm going to try. If not, I'll be there later.
I know you have stuff to do, but I was just
we got family coming into town, so but they all go to bed early, so it's 10 o'clock for them. So yeah.
Well, I hope Jill will be here. Jill, if you can, again, I don't hold anybody in anything. If you can be here, great, But if not, I will be here. That's one thing I can tell you. I know I'm not good enough, but I'll have to make it happen. And then, of course, that's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, same Trek time, same Clobby channel. Mark D with this sees Sunday Night Geekery on his great channel, his remonetized channel, I might add, 10 p.m. Central. Please join us. Eastern. God
damn it, Mark.
10 p.m. Eastern. I'll make it worse. It's the Geekery and the Eatery. Which will it be? We never know. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. The Geekery, the Eatery, the Eatery, the Geekery.
You never know.
One never knows. And of course, this Monday night, the Great J-Man on my channel, as we do every B Monday of every month, the second Monday of every month, we visit Earth B, the craziest, wackiest comic book writer of all time, the great Bob Haney, and we review a Bob Haney classic. I don't know I have not chosen what it will be yet, but it'll be number 12. We've been doing this a year now, and we've been having just a lot of fun doing this. It's so great. You've not read a crazy comic, you've read a crazy Bob Haney comic, and we'll bring you one of those. It'll be a Brave and the Bold issue for sure, although he's done other things too. And again, after that, it's a Monday night Mark C Comics Talk twofer, double feature, because later after that, I'll have the regular show. That's it. This is at 6, by the way, 6 Central. Then at 9 Central, I'll be back on for the regular Mark C Comics Talk. So I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. Let me shout out our wrenches first. The great Eric K., the bronze wrencher. The Vindicator wrencher of the Great White North, Chris Persia. D. Bud Martin, the wrench of iron. Lord and Lady Thoth Avon lives. Long live the Legion. J-Man, the wrench without fear. Hungry Boy, Master of the Claboni. Stephen Wrench, Super Wrench Kal-El. Maddie's Daddy. Thor in Vegas. Fanty Outsidery and Max Redstone. And let us say our goodbyes to all of our wonderful friends in the chat. There's so many of you. It's great to have you here. I'd like to get you all shouted out. Thank you, Princess Fiona, for being here with us tonight, my dear. Good to see you as always. Don, Ranger Power. Thank you. Dog Fortune. Jill, thank you again for that, Jill. Appreciate that. I look forward to seeing you Saturday night, my dear. Scotty, R37. All right, dude. Touring Machine. Thank you for being here, my friend. Crease, 1984. Minimusness was here. Let's see here. And thank you, Minimusness, for being here. Brogu. Let's see. Okay, Brogu. Sorry about that. It takes me a second, but I'll get it all done. Rob Altus, Canadian Spider-Man who does whatever a Canadian spider can. Takes me a while to get everybody's folks. Sorry about that. Yes, it's a lot of scrolling. Could not be reached for further comment. I'm glad you could be reached to hang out with me, my friend. Always a pleasure. Sean Carter of Mars. Gwagnar, buddy. Thanks for all you do, bro. Appreciate you. Wonky Man. Thank you for being here, my friend. Let's see. Up in your pop culture republic. RRTNZ, thank you so much. I really appreciate all you do. Thank you for the super chats and the participation. You're a great new friend, and we're glad to have you. I'm just always great to see you here, my friend. Let's see here. Indie Key Comics. Amelia Clark Scroll Piss. I love that name. Love saying it. No, I don't. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say it. That's terrible, isn't it? The names they have on retro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
DJ
fun. Those are fun.
Yeah, they'll get you with some of them, though, I guess. DJ Ronnie G. All right, buddy. Let's see here. Almost got everybody. Well, sometimes it takes a while. There's so many, so much convo going on out there, which I love. I love a busy chat room. It means people are having fun. I hope. Hope it means people just enjoying each other's company, hanging out with like-minded geeks. And I'm doing vamping while I scroll up, because that's just how we roll up in you. I
wish we could license that Robot Chicken music.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Well, you know what that's taken from?
You told me and I forgot.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Dawn of the Dead, the 78 film by George Romero. That music is taken from a scene in the mall, where the mall music goes. Well, they just went.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff. All righty, let's see. All right, so almost there. Stay on target. Almost there. So, what are you thinking? Think I got everybody? Nah, it's got to be somebody else that I didn't get. It's a game we like to play. All right. Oh, West Cagle. There you go, West. Good to see you, West. Thanks for being here tonight. I only go back so far, really.
Was Dadman? I thought Dadman was here.
Dadman of the Dadman clan. We're here earlier. You were correct, sir.
Yeah.
They had to run out.
I won the no prize. Yeah.
They had to run out, so there you go. Well, let's see here. We'll go with pretty much stopping at that. We've gone back so far that I'm hoping that people are still listening. But again, my buddy Fairfax, North Fairfax, buddy, good. Thank you for being here tonight. Anyone listening out there on a download or a repeat, or lurkers, thank you all so much. It's great to have you all. JT Kirk was here, and Larry was here.
Right, yeah.
See, I would have missed those great guys.
Can't miss them.
Ravenscroft already left, but Ravenscroft was here. So, see, you don't want to miss, don't like to miss anybody. I hate it, but I'm almost there to the end. So, and this way, I'm trying not to miss him. Your Muslim uncle was here, see?
There you go.
Herc 130 was here. Let's see. All right. Almost see him. So that looks like, Captain Infinity and Beyond was here even. There you go. Ezra Goldstein, shalom. And yes, we forgot, R.I.P. Rick, R.I.P. Dick Butkus. David Glenn was here. Dick Butkus, you will never have an equal at that position. The greatest middle linebacker ever played the game. Lisa was here as well. Lisa. Penny stopped in earlier, but she wasn't in the chat, but she did a comment earlier. Mr. Okay. Angel, the chef, was here. Mr. Angel. All right, buddy. Claude Salling, Brian Hepburn. I'm gonna get them all. Yeah, gotta get them all shouted out. That's the way I roll up, and J-Man was here. I already mentioned him though. So again, thank you everybody. R.I.P. R.I.P. Dick Butkus. Like I said, the greatest monster of the Midway, the greatest middle linebacker of all time, one of the greatest NFL players of all time. Just grateful you never hit me or hit any of us. So Good night, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend. Oh, it's not an order. You don't have to, but just a suggestion. Good night.
Good night.
I just love clobbering time.